Ferris State, Grand Valley State, number 1 against number 4. Not much else needs to be said. The 20th edition of the Anchorbone Classic is next, live from Lubber Stadium on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Hi again, everybody. Alongside former Grand Valley State tight end Bob Mitchell, I am Brian Fongers. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Number 1, Ferris State. Number 4, Grand Valley State. And Bob, so many athletes, especially from the state of Michigan on both sides. Let's start off on offense here. Cade Peterson has got to be one of the key cogs that helps this Laker offense here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Cade's got to get off to a really good start. This offense needs to get off to a good start. Try to keep that explosive offense for Ferris State off the field. But not only Cade Peterson, but the offensive line in this run game really try to establish themselves to really try to move those chains for Grand Valley.
On the defensive side, so many athletes for Ferris State led by quarterback Malik Mitchell, but I think a key defensively, especially in the back seven there, you got to contain their skill players.
Absolutely. I've talked to Coach Postema and the defensive coaches. They're worried about the yak, the yards after the catch. They want to make sure that they get these guys down as soon as they catch that football. Like you said, they've got a lot of weapons offensively in that wide receiver group, so Grand Valley's going to have to be disciplined and really do the job.
Doesn't get any better than this, like I said, folks. It's the 20th installment of the Anchorbone Classic. Number 4, Grand Valley State. Number 1, Ferris State. Believe it or not, it's the first conference home game of the season for the Lakers. The opening kick and first quarter action is coming your way next on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
What drives me? Let me think.
What drives me is getting to the next level before you.
Being bigger, stronger, faster.
Knowing my teammates depend on me to play big.
What drives me? It's flying higher than I ever thought I could.
Get to Lubber Stadium to see the GVSU Lakers defend their conference title. This season's home schedule features 4 playoff teams and the Anchorbone Classic. Go to gvsutickets.com.
The time for talk is over. It's time to play some football in the Anchorbone Classic here at Lubber Stadium. It's a packed Lubber Stadium. Brian Fongers, Bob Mitchell. As Bob, we quickly go to last year's pair of games. GVSU won it 22-21 at Ferris State. Ferris State rebounded at Lubber Stadium 24-21 in the postseason.
Yeah, you look at that first pass to Jack Preventure, and then here on the run, Jack Preventure again. Grand Valley jumping up to that lead, and what a game that was last year, and Avery Moore played a big part of that. We'll see if he plays a big part in tonight's game as well, as we take a look at the last play of the game right here, as Ferris looks to try to score, and they fumble on the last play of the game, and Grand Valley recovers, and end up winning the regular season game. And I think we're going to take a look here again at some other additional highlights of the playoff game as well.
Yeah, so Grand Valley State finally got the Anchorbone Trophy back in Allendale, and here's that postseason game that started off with that block punt.
Yeah, Cade Peterson back as the quarterback. The punt gets it blocked. They jump up to an early 7-0 lead, but there's Avery Moore doing a somersault into the end zone to tie it up. Grand Valley goes up 14-7. Malik Mitchell here on a quarterback draw. He will see a lot of him tonight, and I think we'll see some running tonight. Grand Valley thought that he may have fumbled getting in, but nonetheless, 14 all. A tip pass here. I see Antonio Strong, the Catholic Central graduate, with the interception. That leads to great field position for Grand Valley. They end up punching it in to go up 21-14, but Ferris came back strong, gets a tying touchdown there, and then kicks a field goal. And here's one of the plays that we talked about all last week, or earlier this week, with the 10-second runoff. An injury on the play right there as Grand Valley recovers that, takes 10 seconds off the clock, gets down to 1 second. Grand Valley with a Hail Mary try to end the game, and it's intercepted by Ferris State University. They end up winning this football game and go on to win the national championship.
Ferris State, back-to-back Division II national champions. This is the 55th all-time meeting between these two annual rivals. GVSU has won 30 of them. They lead the all-time series 30-23 and 1. There has been a tie. This is the 20th installment of the Anchor Bone Classic. Lakers looking to retain the trophy and keep it here in Allendale. The Lakers will kick it off in front of a raucous environment. Student section is packed. The Ferris State contingency made their way out. But the GVSU faithful underneath us, Bob, are also out in full force. Let's play some football. Here's Colin Kraylap, who has teed the football up. The weather is dry. We are underway. It's a line drive kick that's going to sail over the returner's head, and Dion Small into the end zone for a touchback. The Bulldogs will get it at their own 25-yard line, led by senior quarterback Mylik Mitchell as we go through the Ferris State offensive starters.
Yeah, Mylik Mitchell coming off a Player of the Week, GLIAC Player of the Week performance last week. Great receiving core there with Xavier Wade, Hunt Thompson, and again, that offensive line. Brady Rose, he'll be a guy from Mona Shores that you'll see a lot in the slot moving around. The big offensive line there for the Bulldogs as well.
They also will run out there at quarterback Carson Gulker, a former Zeeland West product. We'll see him throughout the game. Mitchell is in the gun with a hard count. Now takes the snap, bobbles it. It's loose on the turf. He pounces on it back at the 20. He lost 5 yards. There is still, Bob, a slick surface out there after all that rain we've gotten over the past day and a half.
As we take a look at the defense, I was down there on the field. It is still slick. We look at Christian McCarroll there. He's leading the conference in sacks. JVR Suggs, Thomas Jolly, and Colton Heibel. They're going to be putting pressure on Mylik all day long with Abe Swanson anchoring that linebacker crew, and then Tyrus Reed, the veteran cornerback there on the outside, number 2.
On second and long, empty formation. Flag comes down, pass to the sideline. It's complete for a first down along the sideline to Tyrese Hunt Thompson. There is a flag down. I think this might be coming back for an illegal formation.
It's either a legal formation or an encroachment defensively lining off sides, but it looks like they're pointing at Ferris's way. What a great pitch and catch right there by Mylik Mitchell.
Illegal motion, number 5, offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
It's going to make it now 2nd and 20. Here's the replay. He was going forward a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. Just C.J. Jefferson a little anxious, moving forward at the line of scrimmage. That's going to move them back.
Mylik
They did
Mitchell.
not move the ball back. It should move back another 5 yards after the bad snap. That's where the ball was prior. Here we go, another 5 yards against Ferris State for the illegal motion right there. But again, Ferris State doing a great job of getting that ball out quick, and Grand Valley coming with a lot of pressure. We talked about it last week, how excited Grand Valley was getting off the ball, and they were jumped off sides a couple of times. We'll see if Ferris State try to use that to their advantage today.
In the shadow of the GVSU student section, 2nd and 20.
It is loud down there.
Yes, it is. And he's having trouble communicating the signals to his offensive line. Now they get everything set. Play clock down to 5. He gets the snap. Drops back, sees pressure, throws, complete to Brady Rose, slips one tackler, not the second, the sure-handed tackler, Abe Swanson brings him down after just a 4-yard gain.
Niles King coming on the outside, gave a little pressure to Mylik Mitchell, but he got the ball out to C.J. Rose, but a great job, like you said. Abe Swanson, he's a guy that's got to have a big game tonight. He's been kind of quiet since the injury and since the first game against Colorado Mines. He needs to have a big night today.
Tony Anise, as we all know, is the head coach at Ferris State, his 11th season. Scott Wooster, this is his first Anchor Bone Classic as the GVSU head coach. On 3rd and long, they're just going to run a simple draw play, and that's going nowhere. Immediately spun down to the turf on the carry there for Ferris State. I believe was
Anthony Cardamone.
Anthony Cardamone with the tackle. They have only one number 8, but that's their starting defensive end, so we'll have to get a roster check. But nevertheless, well short of the first down, and Ferris State goes 3 and out.
We talked about Anthony last week. What a great game he had last week. He's got 16 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, and an interception on the year. He's everywhere. He's been the utility guy for Grand Valley defensively.
This is a staple for Ferris State. They run this 2-punter system, one being the quarterback. They snap it to the actual punter, and he shanked it right off the side of his foot. And it's going to take a GVSU hop at the 35. That's only a 15-yard punt from the Bulldogs, Bob.
Yeah, if you're Grand Valley right now, you couldn't have scripted this any better as far as this start. A great job defensively of putting pressure on the quarterback. Ferris State shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with that illegal procedure call. But again, Grand Valley in great field position here with their offense coming out on the field. Cade Peterson and his big offensive line really trying to establish the run in the line of scrimmage here.
Actually, Bob, they ran both quarterbacks out there. That was Golker on the punt, and he only punted it 16 yards to be exact. So here we go. First play from scrimmage for GVSU. Peterson drops back, has time, throws it down the sideline to Tierney. He makes the grab. He's in. Touchdown, Lakers! 36 yards. Cody Tierney high-pointed it beautifully in for 6.
That was almost a sudden change situation when you got a turnover with the back punt. And every time you have a sudden turnover or sudden change situation, you try to go deep, and that's exactly what Grand Valley did. They do a great job of really trying to take advantage of Sean Stevens on the outside, the transfer from West Liberty University. But what a play, like you said, of high-pointing that ball by Cody Tierney, the youngster from Northview High School. What a start for Grand Valley football.
The extra point from Josh Gorball. These are pivotal. Hold is down, kick is up into the student section. It's good. 7-0 Lakers. They get a 3-and-out defensively, and on the first play from scrimmage offensively, they find pay dirt. We're back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
University of Michigan Health West is here to help you stay in the game. No matter what kind of athlete you are, the region's premier sports medicine program is here to help you stay on the move. With decades of experience in sports medicine care at 5 of our health centers, our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU Athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
Well, Bob, you couldn't ask for a better start. Number 4 ranked Grand Valley State Lakers. They get a 3-and-out defensively. Bad punt, first play from scrimmage, 36 yards. Cade Peterson to Cody Tierney at 7-0 GVSU.
Yeah, you and I were talking about it off camera, Brian. It's a role reversal from last year. Grand Valley rolls out Cade Peterson to punt the ball in that playoff game and gets blocked, and they get an easy score inside position. And we were talking about the punting situation. Both quarterbacks back there, and not a very good punt, leaving Grand Valley only 36 yards to go for that touchdown.
So here comes Colin Kraylap. The approach and the kick. End over end kick. It's going to stay in play, and it's going to be returnable. Along the numbers, getting slowed down and dropped right at the 25. Deion Small, he's wrapped up and brought down. One of the Lakers there on the tackle was number 16, Luke McLean, on the stop. And here come the Bulldogs again for their second possession.
You talk about a rivalry game like this and two great opponents going at it, and special teams is going to play a big factor. And Grand Valley got to have the edge there with the way that they've played special teams, not only on the return game, but also on the coverage, as you saw right there.
Here's Malik Mitchell again at quarterback, the lefty. Sends a wide receiver in motion. It's a handoff, and going absolutely nowhere is the running back, James Kobe. He is swallowed up once again by Cardamone.
Anthony Cardamone again, the 6'1", 223 sophomore from Utica Eisenhower right there to make the play. And you'll see it here on the replay right here. The Ferris State running backs really haven't done a whole lot this year. Their 5 leading rushers are either quarterbacks or receivers. And Grand Valley up to the task right there on first down.
Lost 2, 2nd and 12. Good start for the Lakers. Out of the empty. Mitchell with pressure, evades, throws down the field, and it should be picked off. Give me the signal.
Ian Kennelly with the interception.
Yes, it is. It's an interception. He overshot his intended receiver, and it's picked up off the deck by Kennelly at the 44-yard line.
A great job by pressure by Colton Heibel, the senior from Sacred Heart Mount Pleasant, does a nice job of flushing Myleik Mitchell. Myleik running to his right, the lefty quarterback, tries to throw the ball against his body. There's you see the pressure right there, and just way overthrows his receiver. I think he was trying to go to C.J. Jefferson, and what a job by Ian Kennelly of scooping that ball off the turf.
Here come the Lakers again in plus territory. Peterson, handoff left side, Tariq Reed matriculating his way and dives ahead for 3 down to the 41-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Grand Valley's offense, they really want to try to establish the run, but it's going to be a struggle with this defensive line as we see Avery Moore coming off the field as he was in on that call. But this front four, Oladipo, Nelson, Irvin Bay, and Ian Hall are really stout against the run.
We're just underway. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot. 7-0 GVSU. Here comes Tierney in motion through the formation. Peterson drops back, has time on a little out route. It's dropped by Tariq Reed, kind of behind him, but he'll probably tell you that he should have had it. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Those are the plays that Grand Valley needs to make sure that they can get in 3rd down in manageable situations. An easy pitch and catch right there, and just a high throw, and like you said, maybe a ball that Tariq Reed wants back that he could have caught, but Grand Valley's got to make those conversions. Now they're set up with a 3rd and long situation. Watch for this defensive front for Ferris State to pin their ears, come back and put some pressure here on Cade Peterson.
Here comes Tierney in motion on 3rd and 7. It's a 5-man rush. Pocket holds. Now Peterson's going to step up, and he's popped and buried back at the 45. Brought down on the sack by number 5, Jason Williams, a junior out of West Bloomfield, and the Lakers will punt.
Yeah, the middle linebacker has 21 tackles and interception on the year. Great job of coverage. I think Ian Hall, the 6'1", 265 senior from Granville High School, is also here on the play, number 14 right there, and just a great job of pressure and collapsing that pocket by Ferris State, and give the defense kudos. A turnover situation. They hold, forcing Grand Valley to punt it back to the Bulldogs.
Ferris State looking to rush the punter, who's Trace Hergich. 4th and 11, good snap. End over end kick, high kick, great hang time, and it's going to roll into the end zone. It's a good job there by Deion Small to bait the gunman into thinking the ball was going one way. It actually went the other. So Ferris State, like you said, gets the stop and the ball at their own 20, 1st and 10.
Yeah, you look back at that drop, that pass, that incompletion from Cade Peterson to Tariq Reed, and that's one of those plays that they're going to look back on, that even if he only gets 4 or 5 yards, it sets up a 3rd and manageable situation that opens up the playbook for the offensive staff. And unfortunately, as we see it right here, it just goes incomplete, and it doesn't really allow Grand Valley on 3rd and long to really get a play to make it up, and they can't take advantage of that big turnover by Ferris State.
Grand Valley State, the number 1 rush defense in the GLIAC and one of the best in the country. They're stifling with the run game, and Ferris State is trying to spread them out early. Mitchell takes the snap. Here comes a delayed blitz up the middle. Over the middle he goes, and it's over the head of his intended target. We got a flag. Incomplete, looking for Jefferson, and this might be pass interference against GVSU.
Yeah, Kobe Hayward is on the coverage. He might be getting caught right there for a little jersey tug. I was watching that route as he was going up the middle, and it looked like he was going to open, and I thought that C.J. Jefferson may have stumbled, but it wasn't a stumble. It was a little tug of the jersey, and that's a good call by the officials right there.
Ferris State loaded at receiver with Tyrese Hunt-Thompson, Xavier Wade, C.J. Jefferson, Brady Rose.
There it is, right up the seam. Yeah, a great call by the officials as C.J. Jefferson did a double move right there on Kobe Hayward and just got a little bit too much handsy there going up the seam, and the flag comes out. But a good penalty right there, because that could have gone a long way for Ferris.
So from their own 30 after the 10-yard penalty. Here comes a blitz again. Mitchell hit as he throws, and he well overshot his intended target. Hunt-Thompson incomplete. He wants a flag, not going to get one, as Mitchell was hit, like I said, as he threw it.
Well, Jim Lewis is bringing the pressure today, isn't he? I mean, you talk about linebacker blitz stunts, and he's really bringing the pressure. He really wants to try to make Myleik Mitchell uncomfortable. One of the things I talked to the coaching staff earlier this week is Myleik, as we take a look at the replay here and the pressure and the blitz coming from the outside, Abe Swanson really does a nice job of turning the shoulders on Myleik before he can throw the football. But they really wanted to make Myleik uncomfortable. Some of the games earlier this year against Mercyhurst and Ashland, when Myleik got uncomfortable early, he made some mistakes, and that's what Grand Valley is trying to do.
Again, they go empty. Comes Wade in motion. On 2nd and 10, he drops back, and a whistle and a false start against Ferris State. One of the wide receivers flinched. Ferris State, well, this isn't a surprise. Every year They are one of the nation's leaders in penalties per game.
Number 5.
It's not a surprise.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. Second down.
It's just a reality.
But somehow they're able to overcome it and
Yes,
win
they
back-to-back national champions. One of the things I talked to Tony Anise earlier this week about is he's really trying to have this team settle down on the penalties. But so far today, the start, I think the crowd's having a lot to do with it as well. But you looked at that illegal motion, that was a huge killer for their first drive by C.J. Jefferson. I think it's a little bit more, too, about the blood flowing for these players.
2nd and 15. Again, they go empty, and another flag. And it's going back again. Another false start. Credit the student section here, Bob.
Well, I think the Grand Valley stunt right there. They moved their defensive line. They just did a simple shift, but they're aggressive in that shift, and it caused the flinch on the offensive line there. And I think it was might have been the left side. You got twin brothers, Bob and Tim Anderson, on that left side, both from Rochester Adams, 71 and 72. One of those two guys had flinched, and this noise in this crowd for Grand Valley is something else.
It's a young Ferris State offensive line with 4 sophomores and a senior. Again, they go empty on 2nd and 20. 4-man front. Lakers rush 4. Pocket holds. Mitchell steps up. Couple of pump fakes. Now he's going to try and run to the GVSU sideline, and he trots out of bounds. 3 yards shy of the original line of scrimmage. He got 7, 3rd and 13.
You talk about this noise, and I talked again to Tony Anise earlier this week, and I asked him about the Montana game and how that got him prepared for this game, and he couldn't believe the environment out there, and he said it was similar to what he experienced here at Grand Valley. And some of the guys that didn't get to experience this environment last year got to experience it in Montana, so he thought that they would be well prepared today for this type of environment. So far, Grand Valley fans are winning.
3rd and long again. Mitchell sends Rose in motion. Short drop, he's hit! Ball is loose, shoots out of bounds. Was that a fumble or incompletion? Nevertheless, it's going to be 4th down. I think they called that a fumble, out of bounds.
Niles King coming from the outside.
Goodness, he was a heat-seeking missile, and Mitchell never saw him.
6'5", 260 from West Bloomfield. Has 10 tackles. He's got 4 sacks on the year. And here's another forced fumble that looks like, yep, they're going to mark it back.
Yeah.
And wow, the pressure that Grand Valley has come with thus far today has been unbelievable against Ferris.
And Mitchell's feeling that one. He was walking very slowly to the bench. He is not out there in punt formation. Now a little shifting around by Ferris State, I should say. This is their actual punter, the Aussie. Left-footed kick, a line drive kick, fielded by Darrell Johnson, and he's immediately brought down after just a couple yards at the 42. But the Lakers will get the ball back as we keep it here in relatively good field position. Again, they're winning the field position battle so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they got the wind at their back, so the kicking game has been in their favor. They've been able to kick one out of the end zone. The punts haven't been very successful. As you said, the Aussie kicker, he's got a nice leg, but against this wind, it's a little tough as we see Avery Moore coming in at quarterback for Grand Valley. We saw this last year in the regular season game, and he had a lot of success running the football against Ferris.
On 1st and 10 at the 41. Going in motion. That's Kellen Reed, quarterback draw, stutter stepping, now turning it upfield is Avery Moore, lowers the shoulder, plowing ahead, getting some help from his linemen, and he got 7 hard-earned yards close to midfield.
Oh, man, is that – you nailed it, Brian, on the head right there. Hard-earned yards. We'll see it right here. He's looking to go up the middle, bounces it to the outside, and he's just trying to struggle for every extra yard, and he's trying to get down, but Ferris State does a nice job of gang tackling right there. But again, 2nd and short situation for Grand Valley as Avery Moore stays in at quarterback. We watched him last week throw one of the best balls that we've seen in a long time, a level 3 ball on a rope. We'll see if they unleash his throwing abilities here today.
On 2nd and short, play action fake. Moore on an out route, wide open on the completion for a 1st down into Bulldogs territory before getting spun out of bounds is Jordan Johnson, sophomore out of Columbus, Ohio.
Great throw there to the outside. Good timing route right there as Cade Peterson loads up and throws that ball right to the out. I mean, you got to be ready for these quarterbacks. You got to know personnel defensively, who's in and who's not in for these games. And right there, what a great timing out route there by Cade Peterson to the outside.
I'm having trouble keeping tabs of who's quarterback for GVSU, but it is Peterson. Fakes the bubble screen. Now he tries a quarterback draw, and that's going nowhere. He is buried back at the 40 for a 2-yard loss. Might have been a miscommunication. They were looking, I believe, for Kellen Reed on that bubble.
I think there was a fake bubble, and they were trying to do the quarterback draw. As we see the 2 quarterbacks out there now in this game, I think what they were trying to do was run a quarterback draw, but the defensive line for Ferris State did a great job of beating Grand Valley's offensive line on that play. That was just a hat on a hat, hoping Grand Valley could win the battle up front. Ferris State wins the battle up front on that one.
2nd and 12 now. Ferris State crowding that box. Peterson takes the snap, misdirection handoff to Moore. Moore angling, and he twists his way down to the 35 of Ferris. And he'll get about 5 yards. It's going to set up a 3rd and 7 in that gray area here.
Avery Morris lined up as the H-back right here, comes in motion and takes the ball as he's like a jet sweep running back right there. The versatility of this kid is absolutely comical. How well he can throw the football, how well he can run the football, how well he can manage this offense. He's out of the game right now. Cade Peterson at quarterback as they go with 4 wides, including the tight end in the front slot.
And Ferris jumped. Hard count. Should be offsides against the Bulldogs. Boy, half their defensive line was in the backfield already, and it will be against Ferris State. Bob, 3rd and 2 now coming up for GVSU.
Number 2, defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
I think that's the 3rd penalty against the Bulldogs, 3 or 4 at least so far.
Yeah, good hard count right there, and just Sheldon Cage can't hold his water. The junior from Grosse Pointe just jumps off sides, and a great job by Grand Valley and good discipline as we see Avery Moore jumping back in here at quarterback in the short yardage situation.
Ferris showing no safety deep. It's 0 coverage. They're sending the house. Hard count. Nobody flinches. They'll check off to the sideline. It's going to be an all-out blitz here. Here it comes. Moore takes the snap. Here it comes. Play action fake. Has time. Wings it on the corner route. 1-on-1. Kyle Knott. Oh,
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Grand Valley State. You've been mossed. 13-0 Lakers.
What a throw and what a better catch. Avery Moore, back shoulder throw to the corner. Like you said, Ferris State brings everybody up, running the run blitz. Avery Moore throws this ball on a dime to the back shoulder, and watch this one-handed catch by Kyle Knott. He did it last week. He does it again today with the catch of the day thus far. Unbelievable as Grand Valley goes up 13-0.
Holy smokes.
Oh,
what
my.
a grab. There's a proud father in the radio booth somewhere. He may have left the stadium. Extra point is good. 14-0 Lakers. We got 6 minutes to go still in the first quarter as you watch that catch again. We're back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
I want to zoom in on this line. This is what I'm looking at here.
I have been forecasting in this market for about 30 years, and this is one of the most significant impacts.
This is actually one area that we were tracking that had extremely strong wind.
We will be on the moment we see anything concerning.
Well, we'll get you up to date. If there's any more warnings out there, stay with us.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, you know, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Looking through some highlights from the first few possessions of this game, and Grand Valley State, their wide receivers are playing better right now, Bob Mitchell, than Ferris State's right now.
Yeah, we talked about the crew at Ferris State and what a great receiving crew they have, and they are phenomenal football players, but you said it. So far, between Cody Tierney and Kyle Knott and some of the catches that they have made offensively, what a football game thus far. And Grand Valley, again, kicking into the win. What a first quarter that they've had thus far.
Rain starting to come down momentarily at Lubbers Stadium. Here's Kralap's kick. It's a line drive kick. Goes off the hands of one of the up men. Scooped up. Trying to bulldoze his way ahead for a couple to the 29. On the return there for Ferris State is big number 31. That's Sefa Saipaia, the sophomore out of Canton, Ohio.
Sefa Sapaya. You and I were
still trying to get that
working on that
correct.
one all morning. But yeah, a nice play by Sefa to try get the ball and get some additional yardage for Ferris, put him in decent field position here to start their drive.
It's been the Malik Mitchell show so far. We haven't seen Carson Gulker. He's more their running quarterback. Mitchell takes the snap. It's a handoff. Trying to spin his way up for a few and getting a few on the carry there. That's Zamir Lundy Knighton. He's a sophomore out of Plant City, Florida, and he gets about 3 to the 32.
Yeah, Coach Anise really does a great job, and almost looks like there's a potential face mask there by Colton Heibel, but he does a great job recruiting the Florida area and a lot of players. I think there's a half a dozen or so more that are going to be participating in this game that are from Florida.
On the quick snap, Mitchell throws, hitch route complete for a first down before getting knocked out of bounds. There is Hunt Thompson, and the Bulldogs will move the sticks. I believe that's their first down, not via penalty.
Absolutely, that is their first down. And Tyrese Hunt Thompson, a very good one of those receivers we talked about, 6'1", 180 out of Cassopolis. He's got 20 catches and 300 yards on the year and 4 touchdowns. Again, this receiving core with him, and Xavier Wade is a name that we haven't called yet today, but he is a definite threat, number 15 on the outside. Got to keep an eye on him as well.
Being shadowed by Therese Reed. On 1st and 10 from their own 43, 14-0 GVSU. Handoff up the middle, finding a crease and able to slip his way for another first down. I think that's James Kobe on the carry. We're trying to get a roster confirmation. But that will move the chains as Ferris State pulling a fast one on us with the roster.
Absolutely. We're a little confused up here with no number 8 on our roster, but a great job of Ferris State kind of sticking to what they do and sticking to the run. Haven't had a whole lot of success with the run thus far, but Tony Anise, he's going to be a patient over there making these calls and playing and calling this game and making sure that he sticks to what has been successful for him throughout the year.
He's 11-3 all time against GVSU. 6-1 here at Lubbers Stadium. On 1st and 10 from GVSU's 46. Short drop, has time, wings it down the sideline for Rose. Knocked away beautifully at the last second. Incomplete. How about Cole Petrito?
Cole does it again, man. This kid, I tell you what, from Rochester Adams, he's a kid that is just, every time you call on his number, he makes a play. And here he is in great coverage. Looked like it was going to be Rose coming back to make the play, and at the last second just throws up his arm. A great job of turning his head and identifying the football and making the play.
2nd and 10 now. You can't rest easy on this Ferris State team. They put up 78 points a few weeks ago against Northern Michigan. So now they crowd all the wide receivers tight to the formation on the snap. Here comes a blitz. Mitchell in trouble, and he's brought down by Cardamone for the sack back at the Bulldog 48-yard line.
The initial pressure by Abe Swanson makes him step up into the pocket, and who's there but his partner, Cardamone, again, for his 2nd sack of the year. A great job of pressure by Grand Valley. We talked about it earlier. Jim Lewis just bringing the pressure there for the Lakers. I mean, they will not give Malik any time back there as a 3rd and very long situation presents itself here for the Bulldogs.
Both teams 4-1 on the season. The only difference, Ferris State's 2-0 in the GLIAC, GVSU 1-0. Play clock down to 10 on 3rd and long. Mitchell with time, complete to Wade, and he's brought down immediately right at midfield, well shy of the first down. Great tackle by Therese Reed, and the Bulldogs more than likely will punt it.
Therese Reed knew about this challenge that he was up against in Xavier Wade. 17 catches, 500 yards, and 8 touchdowns on the year. He is the go-to guy for Ferris State. And as you take a look right here at the replay, what a great break on the ball, and Xavier Wade nowhere to go as Ferris State comes out a little confused as exactly what they're doing, and Grand Valley trying to match. Grand Valley's going to have some time to match personnel as Ferris State comes up late. You'll see the officials stand over the football because of the late substitutions by Ferris State. And again, they look as confused. Look for potentially a pooch punt here by Malik Mitchell, and then
Tony Anise burns a timeout. He was screaming at his players on the sideline. Looked like they were going to line up to go for it there. Not sure what's going on.
I think exactly what Coach Anise wanted to do was try to have Grand Valley burn one of their timeouts with the confusion on the setup. And instead, they were the ones that have to call the timeout because they couldn't get the right team out there, whether it was the punt or the offense. So Grand Valley, man, I'll tell you what, defensively, they've come to play today. I mean, you look at the pressure that they put on. The defensive backs have played well. You've got some of the linebackers, Abe Swanson and Cardamone, coming up big. And so what a start here for the Lakers, not only offensively but defensively.
Cody Tierney and Kyle Knott with the receiving touchdowns. Cade Peterson's thrown one. Avery Moore's thrown one at the quarterback position. So you can't ask for a better start in this rivalry matchup.
And how funny is this? You look at the quarterback situation, Avery Moore and Cade Peterson for Grand Valley. You look at Ferris State. They've had 3 quarterbacks win Player of the Week in Malik Mitchell, Carson Golker, and Trinidad Chambliss. Their third-string quarterback won against Northern Michigan, that 70-point output that they had.
Looks like a quick kick here, and we got a flag, and it might be another false start against Ferris State, the way this is trending.
False start, number 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains, 4th down.
Yeah, I think if you're Tony Anise, you just try out the punt team right now. No need to fake, do anything, and get your Aussie, your good punter out there.
Well, we all know how good this Ferris State team is. Their only loss was to an FCS opponent. They went to Montana, who's ranked in the top 10 nationally in the FCS, and only lost by a touchdown.
And had a drive at the end of the game to potentially tie it up. And I talked to a couple of the Montana coaches earlier this week about that game, and they're not scheduling Ferris State anytime soon. Neither were they against Grand Valley. I think Ferris State, as well as they played out there, I don't think anybody's going to be scheduling either of these two teams in the future.
Line drive kick almost hits a Laker on the fly. Kind of an awkward kick with the 2-punter system. It's going to be down inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Mitch Middleton, the actual place kicker, punted that football away. We have a timeout. Late in the first quarter, Lakers still up by 2 touchdowns. We're back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
We first opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now. Through everything that's come our way, we've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve. And by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
I could spend hours shopping, and I'd hate every minute of it. That's why I bought my Camry at Cool Toyota. I found the exact car I wanted online before even going to the dealership. Then I got a great deal backed by their 10-year, million-mile warranty. No hassles, no runaround. I may hate shopping, but I love buying. Wherever I'm going, I let Cool Toyota take me there.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
All right, Lakers going back to work offensively as we're back live from Lover Stadium, Anchor Bone Classic. Brian Fonger's Bob Mitchell on the first play from scrimmage is a handoff to Usma Harper, left side, churning the legs to the 20, gets 3 yards on first down, 2nd and 7 coming up, and Lakers taking it 2 right now. The number 1 team in the country, the Ferris State Bulldogs. Plenty of football left to be played as the rain continues to go off and on here.
Yeah, Brian, I think this is going to be a drive that defines this game here right now. Grand Valley's had some really good field position on their first 2 drives based on some turnovers and some bad punts. And I think now Grand Valley's got 80 yards to go here on this, 80-plus yards to go on this drive. If they can sustain the drive and put some points on the board, it's really going to make a mark.
Peterson still in at quarterback. A little pot pass to the speedster, Kellen Reed, and he's upended and tried to hurdle over a tackler. Maybe got 2 to the 22. That's it. It's going to set up a 3rd, and we'll call it 6.
Yeah, we talked about Sefa Sapaya earlier. That was his brother, Sefa Sapaya, with the big hit there on the sidelines, and a great job of springing that one out as the speedster, Kellen Reed, trying to get the edge there.
This is a big 3rd down here for the Laker offense as Ferris State tries to flip the field position of their own. Again, showing no safety deep, really challenging the skill players for the Lakers. Tierney in motion. Peterson drops back, has time, now the pocket collapses, rolls out to his right, throws off balance, and it's just out of the reach of Kasu trying to make a sliding catch. And the Bulldog defense gets that 3 and out.
Yeah, great job of the defensive front putting pressure right there as we saw. Looked like Sheldon Cage putting the pressure there on Cade Peterson, and Cade just trying to make a play, but that was a late throw into the middle, one of those things, the golden rules that you don't do, and Grand Valley's fortunate that didn't get tipped or picked off, but a good stand there by Ferris State.
Deion Small set to return for Ferris State at his own 30. Hergich to punt. Punting with the wind here, it looks like. Slips out of his hands, gets it back, and he shanks it off his foot, but it's going to get an incredible roll. Look at this. All the way inside the 30, 25, close to the 20-yard line. How about that punt? I guess crisis averted for Trace Hergich.
You talk about who's getting the breaks here today. Grand Valley, wow, they avoided a complete disaster right there as Hergich, the ball is decent snap, just goes right through his hands and then can't get the ball in the air. That could have got off of any Ferris State or Grand Valley lineman, sneaks through the middle and just takes an incredible bounce for the Lakers all the way down to the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs.
That was almost a 60-yard punt. 59 of those on the ground.
It's
incredible.
It's like golf. You
Yes.
shank something, you get a birdie. It's whatever it's on the scoreboard, right?
Whatever it takes. Well, the field position has been flipped the other way in favor of the Lakers. On first down with a minute to go. Goes the slot receiver in motion. It's a jet sweep. Trying to turn the corner up the field and getting cut down there after a couple of yards was C.J. Jefferson. Call it a 2-yard gain, maybe 3, 2nd and 7.
Great job by Grand Valley stringing that one out, but you'll see a lot of that today. We talked about it earlier. The leading rushers for this football team are the quarterbacks and the receivers, and you'll see a lot of that jet sweep action trying to get to the outside. Grand Valley does a nice job of stringing that out and keeping it to a 2-yard gain.
Could be the final play of the quarter. We'll see. Out of the empty. Here's a delayed blitz. Again, a prayer ball, and that's well over the head of the intended target. Incomplete. I believe, was that Markel King, the running back, trying to slip out of the backfield?
It was, and a great job of pressure right there up the middle by Jack Grice, the linebacker. Just a late delayed blitz, and again, Grand Valley doing a great job of dialing up the pressure. Malik Mitchell got rid of that ball a lot earlier than he wanted to. I think he had the matchup that he wanted with the running back on the linebacker, but just couldn't hold the ball long enough to get it to him. Another great job of pressure by Grand Valley.
3rd and 7. They need the 30 for a first down. Mitchell punches over, now takes the snap, a twist game. Middle of the pocket collapses, he's in trouble, down he goes! Anthony Cardamone once again back at the 15 for the sack.
And again, Jim Lewis dialing up the fake pressure right there as Grand Valley calls a timeout because they want the wind to affect this punt, and a great job by Coach Wooster and his staff. But here's a good look at it right now. Grand Valley looked like they were bringing pressure. They dropped 8 or 7, rushed 4, and a great job by Cardamone again getting into the face of Malik Mitchell and bringing down the quarterback. Jim Lewis and his staff have done a phenomenal job of confusing Ferris State's offense right now. Great coverage on the backside right there, and a great job of late rush there by Cardamone and getting to the quarterback.
Well, you know, this secondary for GVSU has heard it all this year. They've been tested, especially in the non-conference, against Mines, Colorado State Pueblo. Yep. Yeah, those teams put up lots of passing yards, but those receivers in those games had to make really tough contested catches. This secondary right now is definitely holding their own.
Not only is the secondary holding their own, but also the front is putting up pressure against this offensive line for Ferris. Ferris's offensive line in the past has been absolutely dominant. 2 years ago, they could have competed with any FCS school with that offensive line that they had last year. Another great offensive line. This year, Grand Valley is doing a great job of putting on pressure and beating that offensive line. They are dominating the line of scrimmage thus far.
So they got the 2 kickers back there, Mitch Middleton and Ethan Sosen. They snap it to the place kicker again. Line drive, sidewinding kick. Gonna take a Bulldogs roll. Look out. Oh, almost hit a Laker there, and I think that was Grant Hart. He had to kind of step over the football. The Bulldogs down it at the 40-yard line with just 13 seconds to go. Do you take a shot here with the wind?
I don't think you necessarily need to, but a great job again by Coach Wooster and his staff recognizing the conditions, the time clock, and time management right there, because a low kick like that, Grand Valley again in great field position at the 40-yard line, just 10 yards off of midfield. I mean, the line of scrimmage and the offense, what Grand Valley's had to work with has been phenomenal, not only because of the win, but also because of the clock management and the timing and some of the defensive plays that Grand Valley's made thus far.
Cade Peterson at quarterback. Man in motion on the snap, has time. Long throw to the sideline. Tierney again. Holy smokes, he high-pointed it beautifully over the defender. And Justin Payout and that's enough for a first down for 11 yards.
Folks at home, you want to see an NFL throw? Here it is. From the opposite hash, going 10 yards down the field. We'll get a great look at here on the replay. There he is on the opposite hash. Watch him drop it right over the underneath corner coverage, right into Tierney's half. That is an NFL throw right there. Unbelievable job by Cade Peterson and this Laker offense.
We're through the first 15 minutes of play. Teams will flip ends. It's 14-0 Grand Valley State over Ferris State. We're back after the short timeout on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or a quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
Get to Lubbers Stadium to see the GVSU Lakers defend their conference title. This season's home schedule features 4 playoff teams and the Anchor Bone Classic. Go to gvsutickets.com.
Second quarter action underway at Lubbers Stadium. Brian Fongers, Bob Mitchell. Ferris State almost jumped. Here's a reverse flea flicker back to Peterson. And a jumping grab made once again by Cody Tierney to start off the second quarter for a first down to the Ferris State 37-yard line.
Wow, that play looked a little broken in the backfield when it was happening. Wasn't really that clean as we see Avery Moore coming in. Here's the replay. I guess it was a little cleaner than I thought it was. I was looking downfield, and it looked like if he had gotten the ball a little earlier, he had a chance downfield. But what a great job by Cade Peterson, recognizing that the coverage is good downfield, comes underneath, and a huge first down for the Lakers as we see Avery Moore now in at quarterback for the Lakers.
14-0 Grand Valley State over Ferris State in the 20th installment of the Anchor Bone Classic. Moore takes the snap. It's a sweep to the right side. Now cuts it back nicely. Slips a tackler. He's down the sideline. He can go. 10, 5 to the pylon. Did he stay in? Yes! Touchdown, Lakers! Avery Moore from 37 yards out swells the lead up to 20-0.
Wow! Let's give this offensive line some love right now. Jalen Caldwell, Gabe Brown on that right side, Kyler Blake Jones, the center. You'll get a good look at it right now. Holding off that top snap. Garrett Carroll with the pull right there with a clean block. And again, the running of Avery Moore doing a great job. And Jordan Davis, the big fella on the left side, holding everything out. And what a job by Grand Valley, mixing it up. Give Coach Matt Bitsum a lot of credit what he's been able to do here tonight, this afternoon, I should say. I'm so used to night games. This afternoon, as we see the kick go right through the uprights for a 21-0 lead. But what an unbelievable job by Coach Matt Bitsum and his offensive coordinator and his staff of just really mixing it up. And Ferris State does not look like they know what's coming at them offensively from this Grand Valley unit.
Well, we were down on the field during warm-ups. Grand Valley State was doing, they had a lot of energy, let's just put it that way. Ferris State, surprisingly, was a little quiet on their side. And I was kind of worried that maybe Grand Valley State was too juiced up. Boy, they have They're a well-oiled machine right now, Bob.
Well, it's a new regime. Coach Wooster in his first year. You mentioned it earlier, Tony Anise in his 11th season. This is a new matchup. Coach Matt Mitchell, 13 seasons here, didn't have a whole lot of success against Coach Anise. Coach Wooster in his press conference, he did not shy away from this matchup. He embraced this matchup. He embraced October 14 as a date that he wanted to do something, and he has really shown his colors here today.
While taking a cool, calm, and collected approach as well. I'm sure you know this, Bob, but GVSU's looking to get the Anchorbone Trophy and retain it for the first time since the first part of this Anchorbone rivalry started in 02. GVSU won consecutively from 03 to 11. Haven't won back-to-back Anchorbone games in the regular season since that.
No doubt. Yeah, it's been a great rivalry. I mean, this matchup, we talked about it, and there's been a lot of stuff on social media this week about let's keep this friendly and this friendship. Yeah. I talked to Coach Anise before the game, and he can't understand why he gets so upset. It's not the players, it's not the coaches, although last year there was some scuttlebutt, but it's the fans. The fans get incensed. They're so entrenched, and they love both of these teams, and I get it. You got two-time back-to-back national champions, the Lakers four-time national champions. I mean, it's a great rivalry, 45 minutes away. You wouldn't want it any other way.
Here's an onside kick now, and it's recovered by the Lakers at midfield. Oh, they caught Ferris State napping on special teams. Stone Smenke with the recovery.
I'll tell you what. What a call by Coach Wooster and his staff. I was at practice this week, and they were running onside kick a little bit more than they normally do with their special teams. As we take a look at this right here.
What a kick,
and
too.
What a great approach. Doesn't look like he's going to do anything. You saw the bailout there on the right side, and Grand Valley up to the snuff right there, stealing a possession from Ferris State here early in the second quarter. There's still 14 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Grand Valley's up 21-0 with the ball at midfield. This is insane.
Boy, they are just dialing up these little trick plays at the right time. Here's a little shovel. Kyle Knott, left side, doesn't get slowed down. He cuts it back. He could go 20-10. Pursued from behind and brought down at the 15. Couldn't quite get to the 10. Kyle Knott burst free for 35 yards.
What a football play right there. A quick sweep to the outside and a great job on the left side. Jordan Davis, Gavin Kasu. What a great job of blocking on the outside. We'll get a good look at it right here. Gavin is just owning on the outside. And I'll tell you what, later in that play, Kasu and the defensive back for Ferris State got into a little scuttlebutt. Jordan Davis, with his leadership, pulled his tight end away. Don't need any stupid penalties. Great job of leadership right there by Jordan Davis.
Lakers are back in the red zone. Peterson at quarterback still. Got Tariq Reed to his left. Kyle Knott in motion, play action fake. Peterson with time, back shoulder throw. It's caught! Tierney wrestled it away. Touchdown Lakers!
Lento Smith on the coverage on the outside. He did everything he's supposed to do. I mean, the 5'9", 185 junior from Santa Rosa's junior college, he was on great coverage. It was a perfect defense. Well, better offense, better throw. You talk about that in basketball all the time. Great defense, but better offense always wins against great defense. Look at this. He's right there. What a throw and what concentration by Cody Tierney on the outside as the Lakers go up 27-0, looking to make it 28-0.
Extra point is up and good. That was Lento Smith for Ferris State on the coverage. Wow, that's all I can say. Early in the second quarter, number 4 GVSU has opened up a can against number 1 Ferris State. They lead at 28-0. We're back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Yeah, he sheds a little, and he barks at the mailman. But for trustworthy, nobody beats Archie. Except maybe the guys at Cool Toyota. They made me feel like part of the family the second I walked in the door. Then they gave me a great deal backed by their 10-year, million-mile warranty. Want to go for a million-mile walk, boy? Nah, I didn't think so. Wherever I'm going, I let Cool Toyota take me there.
Grit, determination, dedication. All the things you would find in a champion. In other words, all the things you would find in a Laker. The 616 is the home of the Lakers. It's where champions are built. We need to help shape our next chapter. Are you ready to make an impact? Are you ready to join our team? Support GVSU Athletics today. Anchor up.
We first opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now. Through everything that's come our way, we've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve. And by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
Well, we're back live from Lubber Stadium. Brian Fongers, Bob Mitchell. It's been fun. If you're a Grand Valley State Laker fan, they lead it over Ferris State 28-0, and on that most recent score, Bob, the special teams has been so good this year, and special teams helped kick off that latest scoring drive.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I mean, you look at the 3 catches for touchdowns, I don't think you'll find 3 better catches. You talked about ESPN highlights. I think all 3 catches could be in the top 10 this week.
Still got a lot of football, but GVSU, all the momentum is on their side right now. Here's Kralap's kick. High end-over-end kick. Going to be fielded around the 5-yard line by Small. Small can't get through the latest slew of Lakers that bring him down shy of the 20-yard line at the 15. Great coverage there by the kickoff team for the Lakers.
Yeah, I give Colin Kralap a lot of credit right there. The Ferris State deep backs were up about 10 yards. They had to go backwards, so no momentum in catching that football, and then the coverage team did the rest. And I talked about it earlier in this broadcast, how great the special teams have been for Grand Valley. You really got to have all 3 phases if you want to win football games like this today.
Well, now the Bulldogs. Dare I say this is a must score on this possession. Still got a lot of football. They can strike. They've got a lot of great athletes. Mitchell alone in the gun. Motions Xavier Waite through the formation. Drops back, a twist game. He's flushed out to his right. He's going to run out of room and scamper out of bounds, maybe for a yard. That's it. Maybe no gain. There was nobody open downfield.
I'll tell you what, before this game, I had heard that Carson Golker got banged up a little bit last week in the Saginaw Valley game. It's a very big surprise that he hasn't made any entrance into this game today, and I think it might be because of the injury right now. And then your third guy is Trinidad Chambliss, a redshirt freshman, doesn't have a lot of playing experience, so they're running with Myleik Mitchell right here as they go with an empty set.
2nd and 9. Takes the snap. He's in trouble. Hit as he throws. Picked up by Cardamone. He could take it to the house. Yes, he does. Touchdown Lakers with a flag down late.
What is going on here in Allendale today? Great pressure by the front 4. I think they brought a 5th in, and just a great job of pressure. Grand Valley and Coach Worcester, we'll take a look at it here. Let's just a stunt to the outside. Myleik tries to get to the outside. It's deflected.
All blocks were deemed legal. Touchdown is good for Grand Valley.
And Anthony Cardamone is the beneficiary of great pressure and a tipped arm on Myleik Mitchell, and a huge touchdown for the Lakers. Another one as Grand Valley looks to go up 35-0 here still in the first half of this football game.
Tell you what, the way Anthony Cardamone has played this game, he deserves that.
He
Absolutely. Does. He has a couple of sacks, I believe, been all over the place.
The last couple of weeks, the kid's been everywhere.
Oh, another extra point coming up for Josh Gorball. Snap is a good one. Hold us down. Kick is up. Good once again. As we go through some highlights here, Bob, of how good Anthony Cardamone's been here this afternoon.
Anthony Cardamone, welcome to the party. This kid putting pressure on, getting help from his teammates. It's 2 sacks on the game thus far. There's the second one right there, and then the tip here, help from his teammate. Johnny on the spot right there, catches the ball, and he looks like he was a running back there in high school. Does a great job of getting to the end zone. And look at that fan section right there. I mean, what an environment right now. You got the berm to our left on the north side and the student section. What an environment right now for Grand Valley football, up 35-0 on the #1 team in the nation.
Got to give credit where credit is due. JVR Suggs hit Myleik Mitchell on that throw and forced that ball to be wobbly coming out of his hands. So kudos to him for that pass rush.
Absolutely. JVR Suggs is one of those defensive linemen. I talked to the coaching staff last year. They said this kid could be one of the greats that come through the Grand Valley system. He went out, tested the portal a little bit. Coaches talked to him a little bit and let him know how much success he can have here. You got Christian Christian McCarroll, JVR Suggs, Niles King. I mean, this defensive front is absolutely menacing today and not giving Malik Mitchell and this Ferris football offense any chance of success. And they're going to have to throw the ball. I mean, you're down 35-0 midway, not even midway through, 12 minutes left in the second quarter. I mean, the running game's out the window, the passing game. I mean, these guys for Grand Valley, all they have to do is pin their ears back, make plays. It's going to be a long road for Ferris.
Kraylap's kick, shorter kick, end over end, fielded by Small on the run at the 15. Looking to find a crease, takes a bump, and he's tripped up close to the 30-yard line. Good tackle there by Grant Hart. And here come the Bulldogs again, down 35-0. And again, we're going to keep harping on it. You can't let up if you're GVSU because this Bulldogs offense can score in bunches.
Yeah, they can. Like we talked about earlier, they've got 3 very talented wide receivers. The problem is the offensive line hasn't given Malik Mitchell, as we see Carson Golker now entering the football game. Watch for him to get a load of running, but he's going to have to throw the ball here, down 35-0 here in the second quarter.
He's more of a running quarterback, but he can sling it. He's going to throw a bubble screen over the hands of the defender. It's complete for pretty much no yardage to Tyrese Hunt Thompson. Good pursuit there. There's Therese Reed in on the stop, one of the defenders for GVSU.
Yeah, Therese Reed does a great job of keeping that outside shoulder open, not letting the defender or the offensive player get to the outside, and a great job of coming up for a very short gain there for Ferris.
Golker, sorry there, Bob. Golker's second in the GLIAC in rush yards per game at just under 82 a game. So like I said, he's a dual threat. He can scramble, and he is into the game. First time at quarterback in this series on 2nd and 10. Blitz comes. Ooh, boy, they had him dead to rights, but a late whistle. No flag in the backfield for roughing the passer. It's going to be another false start against the Bulldogs.
A false start, move them back
False
5,
start.
And a free shot to the quarterback.
79.
Tough look for the
5-yard
Bulldogs
penalty.
right there.
Remains. Second down.
I tell you what, coming in scot-free, ready to hit the quarterback. I believe that was that DeMonte McCurdy?
I think it was.
DeMonte McCurdy, they didn't see him coming off the edge, and he was ready to bury Golker in the backfield. It's going to be 2nd and 15 after another penalty by Ferris State. That score at the bottom there, folks, if you're just joining us, is not deceiving. On a quarterback draw, Golker slips a couple of tacklers, a third, and muscles his way back to the original line of scrimmage. We got another flag thrown by the umpire right in front of that chaos between the offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah, it looked like Thomas Jolly was trying to get through a couple of blocks and may have gotten held by the offensive line.
Holding. 76. Offense.
Yeah.
Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
So Scott Wooster decides to decline the penalty there.
Lawrence Hattar, the offensive line from Livonia Churchill, the big fella, Thomas Jolly splitting a double team, gets the holding call. I'm telling you, this defensive line for Grand Valley came in hungry, and they're doing a great job here today.
3rd and 11 for Ferris State. All sorts of confusion for the Bulldogs. Golker with his running back to his right in the gun. Lakers showing edge pressure. They motion the running back out. Here comes the pressure. Golker fires, complete, first down. Close to midfield is Hunt Thompson. He was able to squirt free past Pringle, and he gets more than enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, great throw right there by Carson Golker. Does a nice job of setting his feet. Good job of protection, as you see Niles King coming in late, but delivers that football really quick. A couple of missed tackles right there, and with these wide receivers, we talked about it in our opening, as the yards after the catch. These receivers are really good at getting additional yards after they catch the football.
Golker set as he tried to throw it on the slant route, and it swatted away. Christian McCarroll was there along with a slew of others. He was looking for Hunt Thompson on that slant route. He had Pringle beat, but that defensive line swatted it away.
Yeah, Pringle in 1-on-1 man coverage. They brought the house right here again, trusting their defensive backs, going man-to-man coverage. You see the pressure coming from the outside, and it's big. Abe Swanson just timing it perfectly, coming in from the middle and knocking that football down. Another great defensive play by the Lakers.
I tell you what, if he doesn't bat it down, I think Hunt Thompson is still running because he had Pringle beat on that inside move. 2nd and 10 at their own 49. Play clock down to 5. They got to go. On the snap, in the backfield and getting absolutely engulfed is Golker for a 2-yard loss. They tried to do some scissors misdirection play there, and it was all messed up.
Yeah, you'll take a good look at it on the replay. Markel King is a running back, and you got a guy coming from the inside, Colton Heibel, and from there, and you got, it looks like, is that Cardamone again? Or no, that is not Cardamone. That is Jack Bryce.
Yep.
They tackled the running back and the quarterback to make sure that whoever had the ball was going to go down. And a 3rd and long situation here for Carson Golker. He's going to have to put the ball in the air.
Lakers still showing pressure on 3rd and 12. They have to get it to the GVSU 41. They'll check off to the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 5, and Tony Anise has to burn another timeout. That's their 2nd of the half as the crowd comes to life once again. We'll keep it here momentarily, and this is a big game for both teams coming in because you look at the early conference standings. The winner kind of controls their own destiny because they stay atop the GLIAC with Davenport.
Well, we talk about this game every year, and it happens midway through the season, and then you talk about the rematch that's inevitably potentially going to happen in November. And that rematch is usually, at the home field of whoever wins this football game. That's an important thing. But to set the tone like Grand Valley has today, 35-0 going into halftime, and what they've been able to do offensively and defensively, I mean, it's a whole other level that we have couldn't even imagine this game going. But again, it's one game, right?
Yep.
Grand Valley's got one loss with Colorado Mines. In this region, again, they talked to Tony Nicoletta earlier this week in the Division II, the D2Football.com, and the people that know this region is stacked full of good teams. And one of these teams that lose today, there's a potential that they could be shunned out of the regional playoffs, the 17 playoffs. I can't imagine because these two teams are so good, but you got to protect it, and you got to win this game to protect it.
So after the Bulldogs timeout, Golker still in at quarterback. Brady Rose goes in motion, sprints through the formation. Golker drops back, has time, steps up, throws on a crossing route, wide open, it's complete. First down and more, a chunk play, spinning, getting plowed down from behind inside the 25 is C.J. Jefferson. Nobody picked him up.
Yeah, just a broken coverage right there. C.J. Jefferson coming in from the slot on the opposite side, running across the field, and comes wide open. Just a broken coverage for Grand Valley. A great job by the offensive line to give him protection to Carson Golker, and you see him coming right across the screen right there, wide open, and a good job of delivery right there. But again, give that offensive line a lot of kudos for giving the time to Carson Golker.
Golker takes the snap, bobbing around over the middle, and it's well over the head of the intended target, Hunt Thompson, close to the end zone, incomplete. This is going to be 4-down territory regardless for Ferris State, down 35-0. They are the worst red zone team in the GLIAC.
Which is surprising because of all the points they score, but I think it's because they score big plays. They score a lot of big plays outside of the red zone, and that's why I think that their percentages is down. But don't let that stat fool you. They do a lot of good things within the red zone with this team. They do a lot of motion. They bring their jet sweeps, but Carson Golker is a phenomenal runner inside the tackles as well.
69% in the red zone this season, but they're just outside it right now on 2nd and 10. Jet sweep to Brady Rose. He's got nowhere to go, and he is brought down. Ankle tackle made by Abe Swanson as he cut him down for a yard loss.
Give the credit to that one to J.T. Pop. He comes in hard on the outside, making Brady Rose take a deep step to the outside to try to make that play to get to the outside, and he allowed his team in the pursuit to get to the outside. But, man, J.T. Pop came up and laid the lumber there on the outside, really forcing that play deep into the Ferris State backfield.
Like I said, this is 4-down territory, so they got 2 downs to try and convert. 3rd and 11 for the Bulldogs. They have to get it to the 13 of the Lakers. Again, they go empty. No safety deep. Here comes the blitz. Golker throws. He's got a man wide open. Xavier Wade for a touchdown. Again, nobody picked him up down the field, and the Bulldogs are on the board. It's 35-6.
Yeah, just a busted coverage right there. Grand Valley going zero coverage, zero safety over the top, trying to bring the pressure. We'll take a look at it right here. And Carson, all he has to do is throw the ball up top. Looked like Abe Swanson was supposed to be the man on the coverage, but Abe Swanson, Xavier Wade, that's a win for Ferris State right there, that matchup. You don't want to see Abe trying to cover Xavier Wade in the open field, and just a mismatch right there, broken coverage, and a great job by Ferris answering here, trying to make it 35-7.
Here is Mitch Middleton's extra point. Snap is low. Rose gets it down, and the kick is good. So it's a 28-point game. Long way to go still. Lakers lead at 35-7 here at Lubbers Stadium. We're back after this short timeout on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Where can you find top name brand products at low local prices? Only at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Our expert staff will work with you to select the perfect appliance, mattress, or TV that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Innovation and quality are built into every GE kitchen and laundry appliance. Save big on the latest GE appliances now at Nowara Brothers.
Feel the difference today and get more at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Nowara Brothers Home Store, just 3 blocks east of John Ball Zoo.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or a quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
Touchdown, Lakers!
Get to Lubbers Stadium to see the GVSU Lakers defend their conference title. This season's home schedule features 4 playoff teams and the Anchorbone Classic. Go to gvsutickets.com.
Well, the shutout is over. Didn't expect Grand Valley State. No offense to GVSU's defense, but it's an electric Ferris State offense. And the Bulldogs get on the board for the first time this afternoon, but it's still 35-7. GVSU on top as we're back live from Lubbers Stadium. Brian Pongers, Bob Mitchell, and like I said, no offense to the GVSU defense, but that's a tough offense to try and slow down.
Without a doubt. I mean, you're not pitching a shutout against Ferris State is a great goal, but with all those athletes and what they've got and Coach Anise and his play calling, you know, and again, we talked about it in the break. It was just a couple of broken coverages. You got to fix that defensively if you're Grand Valley.
Short end over end kick fielded by Kellen Reed inside the 10. Flag comes flying from the referee as Kellen Reed can't turn the corner and he's shoved late out of bounds. No flag. Oh, there goes a flag. Oh, we got more shoving as going down there for GVSU. Right in front of his own bench was number 6, Stephen Roncelli. Might get 2 penalties here.
Yeah, there's a flag. It might be a holding call on the outside. They might offset, which might.
I think Roncelli did a little bit of acting too, trying to draw another penalty. There should be 1 against Ferris State and 1 against GVSU at the least.
I think that's just the emotion. Kellen Reed, we talked about him in the pregame. I mean, what a special player he is, leading the nation in kickoff returns with 2 touchdowns as well, leading the nation as we get the call here.
Fouls on the play. During the return, holding, 29, receiving team. Penalty will be enforced, 10 yards to the spot of the foul. After the play, personal foul, late hit on the kicking team. Number 20, 15-yard penalty after we assess the holding foul. First down, Grand Valley.
Looks like the ball's going to be at the 25-yard line for Grand Valley. I can help the official out right now so he doesn't have to walk 10 yards back and then 15 the other way. Save him some energy.
Here's that late shove. He didn't knock Kellen Reed down, but anytime any skill player or whoever has the ball steps out, you got to pull up.
No
They're
doubt.
going to call it every time.
No doubt. And like I said, I mean, these guys have been juiced up all week, the special teams. You're hearing about Kellen Reed, what a special player he is. You get a chance to put a lick on him. You want to do it, but you got to do it within the green.
Well, the Lakers looking to go back to work offensively going into the wind, although that flagpole to our left, Bob, is not moving very much. Kate Peterson at quarterback. Takes the snap. Hands it off. Usma Harper, shoulder shake. Plunges ahead for 5 yards to the 30-yard line. Now you're going to probably, not playing head coach here, but maybe starting to see that run game get implemented a little more.
Yeah, you want to run some clock and take some air out of that football, as they say, to try to not give Ferris State any more possessions in this first half, but you also got to stay with what got you here, right? They've been so successful throwing the football around, making big plays, so as we take a look at the rushing yards right there, Grand Valley's really dominated the line of scrimmage, as we saw on that left side with Jordan Davis and Garrett Carroll.
2nd and 5, keeping the sticks moving forward. Peterson takes the snap, drops back, has time, hit as he throws, knocked away at the last second, almost got to the intended target, Darrell Johnson, but it was batted away there by Ferris State's. Is that Sean Stevens on the deflection?
It was a great play there on the outside. Sean Stevens, just the transfer from West Liberty, Great pressure on the quarterback right there. Can't really get enough into that football. He had his receiver open on the outside, but I think it was Olaire Oladipo that put the pressure there as we see Avery Moore here at quarterback.
Big third down here for the Lakers. Moore with a hard clap. Bulldogs don't jump. Again, they're showing no safety deep. See if they apply some pressure. Moore gets the call, takes the snap. Sweep play right side, trying to turn it upfield. Evades a tackler. Oh, a flag comes down as Moore is into the second level, and he's tripped up from behind, and unfortunately this one might be coming back.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a holding call against Grand Valley. Didn't see the holding call play, but the flags are right at the offensive line, right where you see a holding call. And it looks like Gabe Brown's holding his hands right here.
During the run, holding, number 50, offense. 10-yard penalty for
Tough
the spot of the
call.
foul.
As you saw the replay, you saw his
Third down.
right hand get into this jersey, a little bit of a pull, but it's a great job of blocking, and it was away from the play. I mean, literally could have fallen at the feet. Didn't really make a really big part of how Avery Moore was able to get that first down, but it's going to move Grand Valley back and force a third down and about 11 yards, which brings Cade Peterson back into the fold here for Grand Valley.
Well, Ferris State is seizing an opportunity here potentially to get a 3-and-out after scoring their first touchdown of the afternoon. Peterson with that hard clap. Bulldogs don't jump. They're showing edge pressure. They check off to the sideline, do the Lakers. Plenty of time on the play clock. Kyler Blake Jones, the center, barking out the instructions to his offensive line. Eichelberger's the running back. Here's the snap. Edge pressure. Pocket holds. Long throw. Made to Daryl Johnson. Foot down. First down, Lakers. A gain of 12.
Again, you talk about a pro throw. We talked about it earlier in the game. This is another one. A long throw from the opposite hash and a great timing route to the outside. And how about that catch there by Daryl Johnson? What a great job of high pointing and catching it and getting that 1 foot down. Here he is on the right hash, throwing it way across the line. It's a 10-yard throw, ladies and gentlemen, as far as down the field, but it's almost a 40-yard throw across the field.
Not just a great catch, a great NFL catch. He kept both feet down. 1st and 10 at their own 36. Peterson, quarterback draw, slithering his way, and he gets crunched after just 2 yards. Got popped immediately there on the tackle for Ferris State. That was Michael Edwards, defensive back, just crashing in.
One of those Florida recruits for Tony Anise. He came in hard and really hit Cade Peterson really good there. You, as a fan and as a broadcaster up here, I want to keep those to a minimum, but a good job by Cade Peterson of lowering his shoulder pad level, not taking too much of that hit.
2nd and 8 for GVSU, down to 6 minutes to go in the first half. Peterson takes the snap, short drop, has time, bobbing. He's going to throw it down the middle of the field. Got a man out there, diving attempt made by Kellen Reed. He couldn't haul it in. Great throw by Peterson, and Reed just couldn't chase it down.
Wow, that would have been a huge play for the Lakers. And Kellen Reed, we talk about his speed. It's unmatched, and he does a great job of coming all the way across the formation. Cade Peterson puts a little bit more air onto that. He could have run underneath it. But, man, what an opportunity there for Grand Valley. Just couldn't reel it in. Great protection by Grand Valley's front five right there, giving Cade Peterson plenty of time to allow that crossing route to come all the way over the middle.
Ferris State faithful across the way, trying to make some noise on 3rd and 8. Lakers converted on 3rd and 11 just moments ago. Can they do it again? Here comes the blitz. Peterson steps up. Can he evade pressure? No, he's brought down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And it's going to set up a 4th and 8 as the Bulldogs get a stop.
Yeah, great dial up of pressure right there by Ryan Hodges, the defensive coordinator for Ferris State. You got to bring pressure against Grand Valley, and if you try to just bring 4, that offensive line's too good. They're going to block it. Cade Peterson's too good of a quarterback. He'll find his guy. They do a good job of bringing pressure, forcing Cade Peterson to step up and forcing the punt for Grand Valley.
Hergich on to punt. Deion Small, the returner. Avery Moore's out there too. Got to keep an eye on that. It's one of the up men. Low snap. Hergich gets it. Line drive kick. Touchdown around the 30. On the run, Small grabs it. Look out, Small. He's quick in open space, and he gets tripped up at the last second at around the 45. Gavin Kasu with possibly a touchdown-saving tackle, and we've got a Lakers slow to get up.
That's quite a collision right there at the 34-yard line, but a great job by Small catching that ball on the bounce with a full head of steam going. Ran right by 2 Grand Valley defenders because of that speed. We'll see it right here on the replay. Look at the timing right here. Catches it perfectly and is able to split, as you see the collision right there at the 35-yard line. And like you said, a great job there by Cassou and Avery Moore coming in to make the play as both players for Grand Valley and Ferris get up and be able to walk off that field.
Don't want to see that. That's Therese Reed slow to get up. He's able to walk to the sideline under his own power. Can't afford to lose him in the secondary. They've been great so far. Him and number 1 on the opposite side, Devin Pringle,
We're going
for
to
GVSU.
see Grant Hart take Therese Reed. He's a great cover himself. He's nursing an injury right now. That's why you haven't seen a lot of number 0 out there, but he is a really good corner out there, and he's going to be one-on-one out there with Xavier Wade on the top side.
He had that kick 6 for a touchdown last week against Kentucky State to end the first half. Well, they're going to keep Carson Gulker in. He threw that passing touchdown on the previous drive for Ferris State. Why not go with the hot hand? Again, the Lakers showing no safety deep. Rose going in motion into the backfield. Option play to Rose, wide side. He's going to try and throw it back. Turns it upfield, and he spun down for a few-yard loss. Oh, a little trickeration from Ferris State, and the Lakers snipped it out beautifully.
Ian Kennelly did a phenomenal job right there. It was man-to-man coverage. He goes in motion with the receiver, Brady Rose, and he gets the pitch, and instead of coming up and attacking, he drops back into coverage because he saw the receivers. A great recognition there by Ian Kennelly. Nowhere to go for Brady Rose to throw the football, and just a great job of preparation by Coach Lewis and his defensive staff. But Ian Kennelly right there made that play.
Lost 2 yards, Brady Rose, a former 2-time state champion at quarterback for Mona Shores. On 2nd and 12, Gulker, little twist game. Steps up. He's going to try and run it one-on-one with Abe Swanson, and Swanson, actually that's Cardamone, is able to trip him up as Gulker works his way into Laker territory, 3 yards short of the first down, and he is limping, Gulker is. Cardamone with a great tackle.
Yeah, I think it's that ankle that he got injured last week, kind of got re-aggravated right there, and it's a 3rd down and about 3 situation at midfield, but this could be 4-down territory for the Bulldogs, down by 28.
Lakers showing edge pressure. They motion the running back out. Again, no safety deep. Here comes the blitz. Gulker hit as he throws. It's complete, just enough for a first down to that running back out of the backfield. That was Markel King, able to get 5 yards, actually 4 yards.
DeMonte McCurdy right in his face, and man, you got to give Carson Gulker a lot of credit standing in the pocket. You'll see him coming right in the face right here. He doesn't flinch, and he gets hit from both sides right there and does a nice job of delivering that football for a big first down for the Bulldogs.
Therese Reed back into the game for the Lakers. That's a good sign. Coming up on 3 minutes to go, Ferris State looking for one more first half touchdown. Lakers get the ball to start the second half. Gulker with time. Hit as he throws again, and what a sliding grab made. Did they call it a catch? Apparently they did, by Jefferson right in his hip pocket at the GVSU 30. We got a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a holding.
It's also in the area.
Holding.
You are correct, Bob.
72. Offense. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot.
I saw out there, JBR Suggs was just really doing a great job. We'll get a good replay of it right here, and there he is right there getting held on his right side right there, putting pressure on the quarterback, and that's a huge, huge call against Ferris State right there, but a good call because JBR Suggs would have had a free reign at the quarterback right there.
You always worry that's in the area of holding or roughing the passer.
Right.
One of the two. Well, 1st and 20 back at their own territory. Ferris State's got 2:45 left and a timeout. Just one timeout. Again, they go empty. Different running back out there now. Gulker takes the snap. Has time on a go route, wheel route, looking for his man. Incomplete. The intended target out of the backfield was Dion Small, the punt kick return man. Great coverage on the play by Cole Petrito.
Yeah, Petrito did a great job of just putting his body enough right there and really doing a good job of interfering without grabbing out of the play. A great job of coverage right there. And Colton Heibel, what a swim move he had to force that pass a little bit earlier, I think, than what Carson Gulker wanted to get out, as we see 2nd and long right here for the Bulldogs.
Ferris State's continued to make the deep shots. Now flush to his right is Gulker. Steps, throws, got a man open, and it's complete to Wade. Did he keep a foot down? I guess he did, just shy of the 10-yard line.
Yeah, we'll get a good replay of this one to see if he kept his foot in. But again, looked like a little bit of a scramble rules and a little bit of broken coverage as we see the ball come out here to the right. Did he keep that right foot in? It's really close to the line. That left foot close right there, is it worth a replay challenge for Coach Wooster? He's not going to throw his flag, and they're going to play on.
On the snap, jet sweep, Rose again in trouble, and he is swallowed and brought down by Christian McCarroll for a 3-yard loss. Rose tried to spin away from him, nothing doing by the senior Christian McCarroll as he finally gets up a little slow.
Great job of penetration by Grand Valley's defense. Christian McCarroll just sitting there waiting for Grady Rose, nowhere to go, as we got a Grand Valley Laker down on the play.
That is McCarroll. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Under 2 minutes to go. It's going to be 2nd and 13 for Ferris State.
Going back to the play previous to this one, Carson Golker doing a great job of creating extra plays as we go to break here, as Grand Valley is up 35-7 here with 1:50 left in the second quarter.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Grit, determination, dedication. All the things you would find in a champion. In other words, all the things you would find in a Laker. The 616 is the home of the Lakers. It's where champions are built. We need to help shape our next chapter. Are you ready to make an impact? Are you ready to join our team? Support GVSU Athletics today. Anchor up.
All right, back to action from Lubbers Stadium in Allendale. Brian Fongers, Bob Mitchell. Ferris on the move, down 35-7, facing a 2nd and long. In the red zone, Carson Golker in the gun. Takes the snap, pressure by the Lakers. Golker's in trouble. Blind throw is sailing out of bounds, and it goes out of bounds. Man, he has just been running for his life back there.
That pressure, they just brought 4 on that one, and a great job, a little stunt up the middle as we see Thomas Jolly, Niles King, and it was a host of Lakers right there putting on great pressure right there, forcing a 3rd and long situation for the Bulldogs. We'll see if Grand Valley dials up pressure or just tries to get to the quarterback with 4 and drop back in coverage.
Boy, how good has Niles King been after that first game against Mines? Just trying to get used to the college speed, I guess.
Yeah.
He's been fantastic. Empty formation, 3rd and 13. Blitz, Golker throws, back shoulder, caught, reaching for the goal line and in for a Ferris State touchdown.
Wow.
Is Tyrese Hunt-Thompson. Devin Pringle slipped as he tried to defend the pass.
Yeah, he was right there trying to make that coverage, as we'll get a good look at it here on replay. Carson Golker under unbelievable pressure just delivers it to that back shoulder, and you see Pringle losing his feet, and what a great job right there by Tyrese Hunt-Thompson, just keeping his feet, the 6'1", 180-pound junior from Cassopolis, and extending over the end zone, making it a 35-13 ball game. And just like that, Ferris State has come back with 2 unanswered touchdowns.
Yeah, Grand Valley State put up the first 35. Ferris State is countered with the next 14, pending the extra point, which is up into the student section, and good. We'll keep it here with 93 seconds. Now if you're GVSU, Ferris State has only 1 timeout left in the half. You get the ball to start the second half, Bob. What do you do?
It depends on the return here. It depends on the situation. If you get a good return and you're in decent field position, maybe take a couple of shots, but you don't want to do anything silly. You don't want any turnovers like that. If you get a kickoff return where you're deep invested back in your own territory, it's maybe a good idea to just run the clock out, go into the halftime with a 3-touchdown lead, and come out getting the football starting the 3rd quarter.
I'll give credit where credit is due. That was a great pitch and catch there. Just the defenders on both sides have been providing really good coverage for Ferris State and Grand Valley State. The receivers on both sides have made plays.
Well, we talked about it too. You got 3 quarterbacks for Ferris State University that have been player of the week. First guy, Malik Mitchell, was not getting it done, had no rhythm. They've come in and bring in the second guy who we thought maybe was hurt because he wasn't brought in earlier. He comes in and just delivers 2 really good scoring drives for the Bulldogs, and all of a sudden a 35-0 turns into a football game at a 21-point lead for the Lakers. And again, it's going to be indicative for the Lakers to have something happen positive either on this drive or coming out to start the 3rd quarter.
See what Ferris does here on this ensuing kickoff by Middleton. Here's the approach and the kick. Short kick. It's going to be returnable by Kellen Reed between the 5 and the 10. Trying to set up his blocks, turning the corner to the 30, twisting, corkscrewing his way close to the 35. That's a pretty good return as we see Avery Moore come out at quarterback for the Lakers.
Yeah, I think this is good enough field position where you bring in Avery Moore, a guy that can run and throw the football. Make sure maybe if you get a good run, quarterback run right here, get a first down or 10 or 12 yards, then you're all of a sudden changing your mindset on what you want to do offensively going into the half.
They'll spot it at the 34. You're going, I guess you could say, against the wind, even though the wind has really died down compared to the start of the game. Ferris showing a 4-man front. Hard count. Bulldogs have done a better job at holding their water with these encroachment penalties. Plenty of time on the play clock. Moore gets the snap. It's a sweep left, trying to cut it back. And he lost the ball. And are they calling it a fumble?
It is.
Moore said he was down, and it is a fumble recovery by the Bulldogs. Well, we'll get a replay.
A great job by Ferris State, not only stopping the run, but also getting some hands in there to force it off.
Recovered by the defense. First down, Ferris State.
Yeah, we'll get a look at it here to see if Avery Moore's knee was down, but it looked like in live action that ball came out. He's got it on his left hand right there, and
oh, that's close.
I don't know.
I think if you're Scott Wooster, you got to try and he's got the red flag out. He's running to the side judge.
Major Dedman did a great job of getting his hands in there and pulling it out, but I think
here's a timeout by Wooster. No challenge yet. He called a timeout.
Well, I think Wooster wants to listen to his coaching staff to see if this one was possibly an opportunity. Yep, it looked like that right knee bounced off the ground before the ball came out. I think if Grand Valley challenges this, they might win this one right here.
Oh, this is a critical challenge.
And again, for all our fans out there, as we listen
Grand Valley
to the
is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense.
I mean, you got to.
Brian Earl, the referee right there, giving us a call for the challenge. And again, for Division II, you see the left knee pop right there, and then the ball comes out. So I think we're going to see this. That right knee, came down before the ball came out. But this is new to Division II. This year, you're allowed 2 challenges, and Grand Valley took those first 2 challenges. As we take a look at that right knee there.
It's also the shin, too, that counts as being down. Boy, it's close.
It's the conclusive, too, part of it. The officials have to make sure that it is conclusive, that right knee was down prior to that ball getting loose as they go under the tent over there in the northeast part of the end zone. But yeah, Coach Wooster, I thought one of the things coming in as his first year as head coach, when I was out at Colorado Mines watching this football team have a great game against the Mines out there, he did a great job of managing the clock. And one of those new things and those wrinkles was him using those challenges, and he used 2 of them. One of them was a benefit for Grand Valley. The other one was inconclusive. But this is a huge call right here for both teams as everybody's holding their breath. If Grand Valley wins this, look for the victory formation to come out, maybe take a couple of knees and go in and try to get the ball coming out in the second half. If Ferris is able to get this ball and they're able to put in another score before halftime, making it a 2-score game, what a momentum shift this will be for the Bulldogs.
You have to keep an eye on ball security. Is that ball starting to come loose before he is technically down? That's the other close thing that they're monitoring.
Well, I think the key to the whole situation is the call on the field.
Yes.
Call on the field was a fumble. It's got to be conclusive, irrefutable conclusive that it was not for them to change the call.
So as we await this ruling, if Ferris State gets the call in their favor, they have an opportunity, Bob, to get it down to a 2-score game, and they have all the momentum going into the halftime locker room.
100%.
Here comes the call. As he's got to take a long walk back onto the playing surface.
Brian Earl getting his exercise in here today.
After review, ruling on the field stands. Fumble recovered by Ferris State.
Not conclusive.
That's what I think it was. I think that right knee the ball, like you said, the movement of the ball prior to the bounce of the knee. And kudos to the officiating staff and the ruling and the availability to have a challenge like that. But I think the right call was made, and now Grand Valley's defense has got to step up and make a huge stop here to keep this momentum that Ferris State has built up here in the second quarter.
They have 1 timeout with 80 seconds. Golker Option pitch, left side, look out, there goes Small, turns on the afterburners, he could go, 10-5, he's in.
Wow.
Touchdown Ferris State. Just utilizing the speed on the edges, and we have a football game. Just like that.
You took the words right out of my mouth, just like that. A great job, a good call, Golka right here, a quick pitch. He knew he was getting rid of that quick and utilized that speed on the outside. Wow, what speed. And a great run right there on the outside, and that was Deion Small. We talked about him. Another Florida recruit for Coach Tony Anise, 5'10", 170 pounds, and that kid could scoot. And like we said, the momentum now all on Ferris State's side.
Here's the extra point, it's up. And good, down to a 14-point game. If I would have asked you before the game started, Bob, we would have seen a combined 8 touchdowns between two teams. You would have laughed at my face.
Yeah, a lot of people asking me all week what this game was going to look like, and I said, look at the 2 games last year, 22-21 and 24-21. I said, that's what it's going to look like. A couple of great defenses, and it's going to be a smash-mouth football game. And here we are. Grand Valley goes up 35-0. And again, we both were talking about it off camera. You don't feel comfortable against this Ferris State team. You're up 100-0. These guys can score in bunches. Coach Tony Anise and this football team has been through everything. They've won back-to-back national titles. A lot of pride on their side. There's no quit in that football team, and we've seen it here already with 3 consecutive unanswered touchdowns by the Bulldogs. Now, again, we talked about it. The last possession, what's Grand Valley going to do here? I think you're going to see a steady run of protecting the football, go into the halftime up 2 touchdowns, and try to come up on that possession that they're going to get to start the third quarter and make a play.
We were talking about during one of the breaks, don't turn the football over because Ferris will make you pay, and that's the reason why. Avery Moore, I'm sure, is probably kicking himself, but his teammates just got to pick him up. You got a lot of football left.
And what a clean football game it has been thus far, and both teams, man, I'll tell you what, this is championship GLIAC football right here, and this is championship Division II football.
Short end over end kick. Caught at the 5 by Kellen Reed. Reed gets strung out. Another flag comes flying, is snaking his way through the traffic for a decent return is Reed out of bounds. We got a bunch of flags on the play.
Yeah, 2 right in the same vicinity. You wonder if they both saw the same thing. And this is going to come back for Grand Valley. Looks like it's going to be a 10-yard holding call against the Lakers on the kickoff. They'll get the ball at the 20-yard line.
Well, if that's the case, you might as well just kind of take your medicine, go into the locker room.
Holding, number 3, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Both teams only have a timeout left. A minute to go till halftime in what has been an entertaining first half, to say the least. Just when you thought Ferris State was going to get run out of this stadium, there's a reason why they're the top team in the country.
No doubt. I mean, this is what makes this Anchor Bone Classic. It's just such a great football game, and you talk about 2 of the best teams in the country 45 minutes apart. It's a fun rivalry.
Cade Peterson in at quarterback, sends Kyle Knott in motion. Handoff left side, Tariq Reed. Reed sticks that foot in the ground, dives ahead, gets a good gain all the way out to the 27, gets 7 yards. And I think both teams are content to take this into the locker room. Again, Grand Valley State will get the ball to start the second half. That's big.
That is huge. You talk about stealing possession. The onside kick was huge, and then coming out and being able to get that ball to start the third quarter. Now, what they do with it's going to really, I think, going to determine how this football game goes here in the second half. If they can do something with that football, with that possession to start the third quarter, it's going to go a big way in winning this football game for the Lakers.
Second and short, another handoff left side, Tariq Reed. High stepping, hurdles a defender, gets a first down, and that should be a late hit.
It is.
He absolutely got hit from behind by big number 91 for Ferris State. That's Darren Irving Bay. He's a senior out of Flint, and this could be a big call.
Yeah, that's a big one. He also led with his helmet, so we'll see.
That's a dangerous play on both sides.
No doubt.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 91. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
That's going to take it all the way to midfield, Bob.
Yeah, now you got 16 seconds left. You still have 1 timeout left as we take a late look at this one. Yeah, that's not a very good, smart play by Darren Irving Bay. And he's a phenomenal football player. Him and Victor Nelson, 91, 99, 2 guys from Detroit that just do a great job of plugging up that middle for the Bulldogs, but just a bad play right there. And with 16 seconds left at midfield, we'll see if Lakers take a shot.
They got a timeout, so you can utilize the middle of the field. Clock is running, and we get a flag, and what do we got here? Down to 10 seconds. It's thrown by the umpire.
I didn't see any movement.
A lot of conversations taking place. Lakers are backing up.
False start. Offensive line, except for the center. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They have to burn their last time out, the Lakers do, to prevent a 10-second runoff.
Ironic, isn't it? They
Yeah.
had a 10-second runoff last year. Maybe Kyler Blake-Jones a little late on the snap. I did not see that. It looked like a clean play from the get-go. But again, Grand Valley is going to have to burn their last time out to have a last chance play here at midfield. You know, no reason why not to just throw up a Hail Mary and see if you get a penalty down there, or maybe, you know, the ball bounces around. We saw it, was it last night or the night before, Thursday night with West Virginia against Houston, with Houston coming up with a big win on a Hail Mary at the last second. So anything can happen, and it seems like everything's happened here in the first half between these two teams, with 35 and 21 points scored respectively for the Lakers and the Bulldogs.
Just missing the marching band coming on the field during play. Stanford Cal back in the day. Well, the Lakers have it at their own 45 now. Under 2 minutes in each half. If you get a first down, the clock stops momentarily. If they can get a first down in the field of play, then you really got to hustle and spike the ball. But it's got to be fast.
You just got to beat the chain gang.
Yeah.
You beat the chain gang, you can get a spike.
Ferris only showing a 3-man front. They rush 4. Peterson, quick out route to Kasu. It's complete, and he is met out of bounds after just a 4-yard gain. 4 seconds went off the clock. I mean, Cade Peterson or Avery Moore, they've got the arm to get it to the end zone.
I think that play was just to set up exactly what you said, get a few additional yards to set up to make sure you can get one down into the end zone.
Ferris is sagging everybody back except for a couple of defensive linemen. GVSU out of timeouts. Ferris has one. Boy, if you want to try another quick out route, Tony Anise is going to take his last timeout of the first half. I was just going to say, with so much cushion, you only burn 4 seconds. Quick out route, get you closer a little bit.
I think that's what Tony Anise recognized. Didn't like the amount of room that the Ferris defenders were giving the receivers for Grand Valley. Utilize this timeout to make sure that they're dialed in for this Hail Mary attempt by Grand Valley. But again, what a half, huh? I mean,
my goodness, incredible. By the way, do you remember Tony Anise's only loss here at Lubber Stadium? It was back on October 8th of 2016. GVSU was ranked number 2. Lakers won that game 35-23. You remember that game at all? Ferris State, I saw the box score. They put up almost 600 yards of offense in that game. It was incredible, and they only put up 23 points.
I'll tell you, these two have had some absolutely unbelievable games going over the last decade or 11 years that Tony Anise has been at Ferris State between Coach Mitchell, and this one today is an instant classic already in the first half with Coach Wooster. But yeah, absolutely some incredible football games between these two football teams.
Well, you got to get it 51 yards down the field if you're throwing a Hail Mary here. Ferris has 3 players back at the goal line, their tallest players probably. Neither team has a timeout. 4-man rush. Peterson drops back, sidesteps to his left, got to get rid of it, hit as he throws. Oh, look out. Fortunately, it's going to be an incomplete pass. His arm was going forward, and now at this point you got to hope Cade Peterson's okay.
Yeah.
He was buried in the backfield.
Dangerous play there as they had 2 guys in. Sheldon Cage, the defensive end, along with Oladipo, both converging on Cade Peterson, put a big hit as he was trying to get rid of the football. And thankfully for the Lakers, the ball was called an incomplete pass and falls harmlessly to the ground. But as we'll take a look at it right here, boom, that's a big hit and just totally open to a possibility of an injury. But thankfully nothing there. And Cade Peterson walks off as both teams come off the field. Coming into the half, and again, like you said, Grand Valley get the ball coming out of the second half. That, I think, is going to be the drive of the football game right here to kind of set the tempo going out of the second half here.
I mentioned Ferris State was quiet in the pregame warm-ups. Well, they're definitely giving Grand Valley a little verbal juice going into the halftime locker room. It's the rivalry, folks. We'll be back with our halftime coverage after this. 35-21 GVSU on top here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long hot soak or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
Earhart Construction is a proud sponsor of Laker football, and we are excited for the 2022 season. For over 60 years, Earhart has built the facilities that define our West Michigan landscape, including Grand Valley's Ensemble Hall, Holton Hooker Living Center, and the Kelly Family Sports Center. Since 1962, our priority has been to provide the best construction experience for our clients, and that continues to be our primary goal today. I can't wait to hear about your next commercial or residential construction project. Visit us today at earhartcc.com.
I want to zoom in on this line. This is what I'm looking at here.
I have been forecasting in this market for about 30 years, and this is one of the most significant impacts.
This is actually one area that we were tracking that had extremely strong wind.
We will be on the moment we see anything concerning.
Well, we'll get you up to date. If there's any more warnings out there, stay with us.
Get to Lubbers Stadium to see the GVSU Lakers defend their conference title. This season's home schedule features 4 playoff teams and the Anchorbone Classic. Go to gvsutickets.com.
The 20th edition of the Anchorbone Classic. Brian Bongers, Bob Mitchell here. And through the first half of play, a lot of highlights galore on both sides. Number 4 GVSU holding a 35-21 advantage against number 1 Ferris State. As we roll through the highlights, it got going like gangbusters. Cade Peterson, Cody Tierney for a touchdown. First play from scrimmage on the offense, and the defense was flying around. Guys like Anthony Cardamone making plays. And also, GVSU forced 2 interceptions at the hands of Ferris State quarterback Malik Mitchell. And the air raid game really paid dividends off these turnovers, as here's Avery Moore slinging the ball down the field to Kyle Knott for a SportsCenter-esque highlight touchdown grab to make it 14-0 Grand Valley State. That is the play of the year so far for the Lakers, in my opinion. And again, Malik Mitchell, the quarterback for Ferris State, is running around just trying to find open space, and everything was closing in on him quickly. Cardamone, another sack. Avery Moore, on their next offensive possession, was able to slip his way into the clear and running in for a long touchdown run of 37 yards. That made it 21-0. Then Scott Wooster opening up the special teams playbook. Onside kick recovered by Stone Smengi to keep the momentum on the side heavily of the home team. And then GVSU would use Kyle Knott in space once again on this little shovel option. Not with a chunk play to get him back into the red zone and set GVSU up for another potential score. And they would get it. Peterson, back shoulder throw. What a grab. Cody Tierney is second of the afternoon, 28-0. And then, Cardamone again. Pick 6, 35-0. GVSU was running away with it. But Ferris State brings in Carson Gulker in at quarterback, and they started making plays of their own, especially at the wide receiver position. Gulker connecting with his receivers, Jefferson, Hunt Thompson, Xavier Wade, everybody getting in on the act. And here's their first score of the afternoon to Xavier Wade to make it 35-7. Gulker still running for his life, making plays while scrambling, finds Wade on this deep throw to get him back in the red zone. And then here the defender, Pringle, slips to Hunt Thompson, reaches for the goal line. He's in 35-14. Then after a fumble by Avery Moore, here's Deion Small on this little option play. He scoots free into the end zone before the first half expired. 35-21, GVSU is our score. First 5 touchdowns to the Lakers, next 3 scores to Ferris State. We'll continue more of our halftime coverage after this break here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
I walked in here and I looked straight up and I'm like, how did this happen?
We're gonna have interaction across different sports. We're not gonna be siloed, but we're also gonna have what we need to be successful on our own. We're gonna be able to lift full teams instead of lifting teams in sections.
Just having another weight room as a whole helps a lot for scheduling because we have so many successful programs. To get everyone in what they need to get in, this is a huge benefit.
We're gonna have not just the support of the building and the things that they get to see and the tangibles they can touch, right? But the things that go behind the scenes, the people that are really the most important piece to all of this and making it all work.
With the club guys working in here, the varsity guys could help make them better and vice versa. This is a bigger and better facility than a lot of Division I schools that I've been to. It's huge. There's room for 3 mats.
People come and they see our facilities and they see everything that we have.
They're gonna see that the school will invest into this program, and I think parents are really gonna want their kids to go here.
Obviously, we want to be successful, but we want to be successful in all aspects. When we go to a wrestling tournament, we're not hoping for second place, right? We're hoping to win. Same thing when I go to the classroom. A couple years out, I think we should be trophy chasing. We want to add to that tradition of excellence that's upstairs.
Growing into women's wrestling is huge for the sport and for women. We're going to get a lot of respect around the country for setting up a women's program.
Wrestling is one of those sports that once you're in, you're in. I think everybody was just waiting. All the alumni that I've talked to, they're so happy, from the student athletes that'll be representing this next season and in the future. I know they're so grateful.
I just want to say thank you to all the donors and all of their contributions. I think that the donors are what makes this happen, and it makes us be successful, and hopefully we can represent Grand Valley.
I'd just like to thank everybody who has donated and helped build this facility for the Grand Valley community and the wrestlers and the families.
We have everything we need to be successful here. It's a great time to be a Laker.
I could spend hours shopping, and I'd hate every minute of it. That's why I bought my Camry at Cool Toyota. I found the exact car I wanted online before even going to the dealership. Then I got a great deal backed by their 10-year, million-mile warranty. No hassles, no runaround. I may hate shopping, but I love buying. Wherever I'm going, I let Cool Toyota take me there.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or a quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
University of Michigan Health West is here to help you stay in the game. No matter what kind of athlete you are, the region's premier sports medicine program is here to help you stay on the move. With decades of experience in sports medicine care at 5 of our health centers, our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU Athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
Grit, determination, dedication. All the things you would find in a champion. In other words, all the things you would find in a Laker. The 616 is the home of the Lakers. It's where champions are built. We need to help shape our next chapter. Are you ready to make an impact? Are you ready to join our team? Support GVSU Athletics today. Anchor up.
What drives me? Let me think.
What drives me is getting to the next level before you.
Being bigger, stronger, faster.
Knowing my teammates depend on me to play big.
What drives me? It's flying higher than I ever thought I could.
Hi, this is Chris Suppenfeld with Ziegler Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Granville. Whether you're shopping for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, finding the perfect option for your lifestyle is a piece of cake at Ziegler Automotive Group of West Michigan. We carry vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, so you have the power of choice at our dealership. If you're looking to drive the new Jeep Grand Cherokee L or the reintroduced Jeep Wagoneer or a Ram 1500, we have the vehicle that meets your needs. From all of us at Ziegler Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Granville, go Lakers!
Continuing our halftime coverage live from Lover Stadium in the Anchor-Bone Classic. Brian Fongers here. Again at the half, number 4 Grand Valley State up by a couple of touchdowns against number 1 Ferris State 35-21 as we roll through the stats from the first half. That was rushing yardage heavily favoring Grand Valley State. At one point, Ferris State only had 1 rushing yard. Well, the majority of those rushing yards came on that recent touchdown late in the first half by Dion Small, but the Lakers holding the advantage there. Passing yards virtually the same. Total offense slightly favoring GVSU. Turnovers, Ferris State's thrown a couple of picks. The one turnover by Grand Valley State was that key fumble by Avery Moore that led to the recent touchdown by Ferris State. Time of possession favoring the Bulldogs, but Grand Valley State making the Bulldogs pay that is, with chunk plays. Thus the reason why the time of possession is favoring Ferris State in penalties. We talked about the penalty issues that Ferris State has every season. They almost have 10 in the first half, GVSU with half that amount. And we'll see which side keeps the cooler head going into the second half of play. And what is now a tight football game, GVSU will receive the second half kickoff. We'll continue more of our coverage after this timeout. Hope to get some thoughts from Lakers head coach Scott Wooster. Again, 35-21 is our halftime score from Lover Stadium. Back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Wait.
Breaking news. Moments that appear without notice. That can change your day, your world, your life.
We are working to find out who police have in jail this morning.
News 8 has the team, the resources, and the experience to cover breaking news across West Michigan.
Breaking news that we've been following this afternoon.
Live on air or sent straight to the palm of your hand. If you want news as it happens, you want News 8.
Earhart Construction is a proud sponsor of Laker football, and we are excited for the 2022 season. For over 60 years, Earhart has built the facilities that define our West Michigan landscape, including Grand Valley's Ensemble Hall, Holton Hooker Living Center, and the Kelly Family Sports Center. Since 1962, our priority has been to provide the best construction experience for our clients, and that continues to be our primary goal today. I can't wait to hear about your next commercial or residential construction project. Visit us today at earhartcc.com.
Back live at Lover Stadium in Allendale. Brian Fongers with you as we continue along with our halftime coverage. We're going to send it down to the field. Bob Mitchell standing by with head coach Scott Wooster.
Well, Coach, the Anchor-Bone Classic has turned into another classic, hasn't it? Let's talk about first the start of the game and what a great success you guys had, both offensively, defensively, the pressure, be able to put on the quarterback, and how well you guys started.
Yeah, that and the special teams too, just really synergistic, feeding off of each other, built the lead.
felt like we took a little bit of a breath, right? And we can't do that in this football game. Put the foot on the gas and keep it there. They went to a change at quarterback, sparked them a little bit, got a really good schemed up deal on us for the first touchdown and then the turnover. So we just got to come back out, start fast, right? And that's who we've been. That's who we got to be, starting fast.
Talk about that change at quarterback. You guys were able to put a lot of pressure on Malik Mitchell, which really caused some havoc against Ferris. Then you continue with that pressure, but Carson Golker seems to be handling that pressure a little bit. What do you do to dial up and change here in the second half?
Yeah, and part of that, is just the cumulative effect of that is just keep on getting to the quarterback, keep on being in his face. And you saw that with Malik, as the half went on. So part of it's just doing what we're doing, being us, and staying after that.
Talk about this drive coming out here. You guys get the ball to start the second half. Sure. How important is this drive coming out here?
Yeah, it's just there's going to be 11, 12 possessions in a football game. Obviously, they're all important. Because how we finished the half, maybe this one's got a little bit more importance. But, let's just get back to doing us and doing what we did to get us in this position. So
good luck in the coach.
Yeah, thanks,
good luck in the second half.
Thanks,
all right, back to you, Brian.
Bob Mitchell. Those are the thoughts from head coach Scott Wooster as number 4 GVSU has a 35-21 lead over number 1 Ferris State. One final timeout. Second half action from Lubber Stadium is coming your way next on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
577. It's here to help you stay in the game. No matter what kind of athlete you are, the region's premier sports medicine program is here to help you stay on the move. With decades of experience in sports medicine care at 5 of our health centers, our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
All right, about to get third quarter action underway from Lubber Stadium in Allendale. Brian Fongers, Bob Mitchell hustling his way back up to the press box after interviewing Lakers head coach Scott Wooster. Grand Valley football to start off the second half, leading at 35-21. If you missed the first half, where have you been? Grand Valley State scored the first 35 points. Ferris countered with the next 21 as Bob Mitchell makes his way back up to the booth here. Bob, Grand Valley gets the football to start the second half. What are your keys going into this final 30 minutes of play?
Slow playing right now and catch my breath. I tell you what, I think Coach Wooster underplayed it a little bit, but I think this drive is going to set the tone here for the second half. I think it's important for Grand Valley to get some first downs, even if they don't score, move the chains and change the field position.
Let you catch your breath here, Bob. Good hustle. As we'll get third quarter action underway here in just moments. Again, GVSU has not won the Anchorbone Trophy in back-to-back years. You have to go back to 2003 through 2011. Before Tony and East took over the Ferris State program, GVSU dominated the front end of this Anchorbone Classic when the trophy was created in 2002. They didn't play in 2002, unfortunately, due to an unfortunate death in the Ferris State football program. And then obviously in 2020, they did not play due to COVID. Nobody played that year. So here we go, Bob. Should be in store for a rousing finish, to say the least.
I got to tell you, I'm surprised that Ferris continues to kick the ball off to Kellen Reed. I'm losing my head here. To Kellen Reed. It's just, they really have a lot of faith in their kick coverage team as they do a squib kick here to start the second half.
Fielded at the 30. Stutter stepping to the 40. Collision there. And muscling his way to the 43 for a pretty good return there for the Lakers. That was Steven Roncelli. Got a good hop right at the 30 and took it ahead 13 yards.
Former running back in high school, knew exactly what to do with that football. He does a great job of getting up the field, setting up Grand Valley with a really good field position here to start this drive here in the third quarter.
Now, from the wind standpoint, hasn't been much of a factor since the first quarter. GVSU is going into the wind a little bit in this third quarter. Cade Peterson, who took that hard hit at the end of the first half, is back in at quarterback. Avery Moore goes in motion. They're going to throw it to Moore on a bubble screen, and look out, he is cut down after a 3-yard loss back to the 40. Missing his block there was Darrell Johnson, and that was a good open field tackle.
Yeah, tough matchup right there. Their best tackler, Major Dedman, the 6'1", 208 senior from Freeport High School in Illinois, does a great job of avoiding that block and coming up and putting a good hit on Avery Moore right there. As Grand Valley tries to come out with a little bit of a wrinkle, but it's man on man. It's you know, you got to beat your guy, and right there, Major Dedman does a nice job of beating Darrell Johnson on that block.
Well, now you're behind the sticks at your own 40, 2nd and 13, and here comes a swinging gate action. We saw this earlier in the season. Another wrinkle. Ferris State lines up. Comes Kellen Reed in motion. Pop pass, Kellen Reed. Can he get a block on the edge? He's in trouble, out of control, and he's brought down for another loss.
Well, here's 2 plays. I talked to Coach Wooster right at halftime. We just got to get back to being us. This isn't us. If you're Grand Valley, you try to run a swing pass to Avery Moore, your quarterback, and then you run that. I mean, if you want to get back to us, it's running the football. It's getting the balls to your playmakers like you did in the first half, whether it be Kyle Knott or Cody Tierney. And right there, you really put yourself in bad position right here if you're Grand Valley.
Well, it's now 3rd and 17. Going backwards are the Lakers. Ferris State, they're smelling blood in the water. They're sending some pressure. It's coming off the edge. They're showing it at least. Here it comes. Pocket holds momentarily. Jump ball looking for Tierney. It's underthrown and intercepted. Just didn't get to Tierney, and it's picked off. A breadbasket catch made by Lento Smith, the junior defensive back.
Yeah, it was just a bad throw by Cade Peterson, throwing it off his back foot right here. He feels some pressure, and he's trying to put a 50-50 ball up there. It does not get anywhere near the air that he needs under it. Cody Tierney can't even come back to make a play on it. It's thrown so short. And Ferris with a big turnover, albeit potentially a punt situation for Grand Valley the next play had they not able to get that first down on 3rd down. But again, you'd rather have your punt team out there trying to pin Ferris a little bit further deep than the 35-yard line.
Both teams now with 2 turnovers in the football game. Carson Golker, who's been the hot hand at quarterback, stays in there. Brady Rose coming in motion. Quarterback draw up the middle, and he's triple-teamed.
Wow.
Golker is and shoved backwards after just a 2-yard gain.
And that's how you answer if you're Grand Valley's defense. They're really going to have to step up here on this drive. As we see a replay, here's Golker tries to take it up the middle, and he's met by 3 Lakers right at the line of scrimmage, and a great job defensively for Grand Valley.
Cardamone, Swanson, McCarroll, 3 guys you don't want to meet trying to run a quarterback draw. 2nd and 8. Golker takes the snap. Here's that option. This time he keeps it, and he's going nowhere. Chased down by Cardamone. The initial play was made nicely there by big number 7, JVR Suggs.
That was the exact play. They ran for a touchdown to end the first half as we have a timeout here on the play for an injured Ferris State Bulldog. But again, that was a play that the quick pitch happened, and you got it to your speedster right there. Golker keeps it a little bit too long, has to keep the ball, try to make a play, and Grand Valley's defense up to the task and doing a great job of surrounding the play. And now it's a 3rd and long situation when Ferris State comes back here as we take a look at the injured player for Ferris, and it looks like it's
Lawrence Hatter, 76, sophomore. And again, we mentioned earlier, this is a Ferris State offensive line young. 4 sophomores and a senior on that offensive line. They got beat up early, but they've kind of settled in nicely to help in this comeback effort.
Yeah, and you wonder another sophomore, Lawrence Hatter, one of the backup guys coming in for this offensive line, how the depth of this offensive line for Ferris, how deep they are, as he looks like he's going to be okay. It's good to see him walking off the field as we take a look at Coach Wooster and his staff trying to dial up this defense. Grand Valley going 3 and out. They're trying to do the same here against Ferris and make this a defensive battle and let the clock work to your side if you're the Lakers.
3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Well, this will be a big stop for the Laker defense. Let's see what Jim Lewis has dialed up. He's been aggressive all game long. They got 1 safety deep. They're showing edge pressure. Comes Rose in motion. Hard clap. Lakers don't jump, they'll check to the sideline. Plenty of time on the play clock.
That man-to-man motion shows the defensive player going with him, shows man-to-man coverage on the outside.
Now they drop back, the Lakers do. Golker down the sideline, a man wide open, it's Hunt Thompson. It's a foot race, Petrito is able to knock him out of bounds just enough.
Wow. Just again, a break in coverage. The first 3 touchdowns for Ferris State have been broken coverage plays other than that run, and you take a look at here, both guys jump the outside route, leaving Hunt Thompson wide open on the outside. You see right there, 2 defenders for Grand Valley. It looked like it was Pringle. Who was the other guy there?
Petrito chased him down and shoved him just enough out of bounds.
Kobe Hayward both jumping on that out route and allowing Thompson to get wide open on the outside.
From the 19, here comes edge pressure. Golker, go route, one-on-one, that's out of bounds. Wade caught it, but that's good coverage by Therese Reed. We got a flag down, thrown in the backfield. Ferris State had 9 penalties, make it 10. It's a holding call. It's going backwards.
Holding. Number 20, offense. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
This offensive line has had some struggles trying to protect their quarterback with this great defensive rush for Grand Valley. And right there again, another holding call. Grand Valley's just got to make sure that they are playing assignment football in the backfield and allow this front to get up to their quarterback.
On that big catch play, it looked like the Laker defense had audibled to a more zone coverage. And like you said, there was just a miscommunication. 1st and 20 now. Bulldogs can get a first down at the Laker 9. Golker will check off. Play clock down to 10 going into the student section. It's a 4-man rush. And it's almost intercepted for a pick 6. A miscommunication between Golker and Wade. And oh my goodness, Kobe Hayward had eyes on the end zone.
Kobe Hayward, which may have been a break in coverage on that previous big play by Thompson, almost was the hero of the game right here as Golker just stares down his receiver, Xavier Wade, on the outside, and a great break on the ball and almost comes up with a play of the game right there as Grand Valley knocks that ball down, forcing the 2nd down and long for the Bulldogs.
2nd and 20. Lakers stem on the defensive front. They're showing edge pressure again. Golker checking off to his offensive line. Lakers sending pressure on the keeper, in trouble, able to skirt free momentarily and getting buried. Ball is loose. It's scooped up. Is it blown dead? Oh, yes, it is. Otherwise, Christian McCarroll had a touchdown as Deion Small was absolutely leveled, and he's hurt.
Yeah, that was a big collision. He tried to plant his foot and try to get upfield, and he ran into a slew of Lakers as the Ferris State trainers come to his aid. But, man, what a big hit that was on the outside. We'll get a really good look at it right here. He's carrying that ball up really high, and as he's hit, you can't really see right there. It looked like the knee was down before the ball came out, but boy, oh boy, what a hit put on by the Lakers defense right there.
A couple of defensive linemen and linebackers against a smaller scat back in Deion Small, and he tried to hurdle, and we've seen it so many times in college. Players trying to hurdle defenders, it never works out for you. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it was interesting. The beginning of that play, the mesh between Golker and Small took forever. Golker was trying to make a decision on what he wanted to do, and Grand Valley just did a great job of taking away the inside, forcing him to give the ball out, but it was so late to the outside that the pursuit for Grand Valley was able to catch up, and you see what happens right there, the big hit against Small, and just hope he's okay.
Yeah, that's the big thing, as they tend to him. He was moving at least. That's a good sign.
It's like Tariq Reed is down as well for Grand Valley's limping off. I'm sorry, Therese Reed. A little gingerly here as he comes to the bench.
He was in on that tackle. Yeah, you had guys like Christian McCarroll and Abe Swanson closing in on you. That was a good job, like you said, of the Laker defense stringing that out as best they could, because we saw it late in the first half. Small sticks that foot in the ground, he's gone.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll take a timeout here, and as they tend to him, we'll come back with more from Lubber Stadium after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
I want to zoom in on this line. This is what I'm looking at here.
I have been forecasting in this market for about 30 years, and this is one of the most significant impacts.
This is actually one area that we were tracking that had extremely strong wind.
We will be on the moment we see anything concerning.
Well, we'll get you up to date. If there's any more warnings out there, stay with us.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Sobering moment here at Lubbers Stadium as we're back live. Brian Fongers, Bob Mitchell, as the stretcher has come out as they're tending to Ferris State's Dion Small, the running back, punt return, kick return specialist as well. Just took a hard hit, a hard fall, and unfortunately this is a tough sport to play, and you never like to see these kind of injuries no matter who you're playing.
Not at all, and the sportsmanship between these two teams is showing right now as both Grand Valley coaching staff and their players show their concern for this fallen Bulldog right now. But we talk about this rivalry and the emotion behind it, and it is a big game. We're not going to pull any punches here in regards to how big of a game this is and how big the game potentially could be back in November, which it has been for the past few years, where they play in the regular season, the playoff. I mean, two of the best teams in the country, but this is when things really become real, and you really want, thoughts and prayers out to the young man and his family right now.
Well, if you're just joining us, it's 35-21 Grand Valley State. Ferris State has the ball, 3rd and long coming up. But you obviously want to take care of the player first, make sure he's okay. As a hush has fallen over the Lubbers Stadium faithful here. Whether you're a Laker fan or a Bulldog fan, like we talked about, it's never good to see. You want to see everybody come out of these kind of games healthy. You're going to see some dinged up injuries, some small injuries here and there. It's such a physical game, especially in these rivalry games, but you never want to see anything like this.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about football at this point in time, but eventually we got to do our jobs, and you come back to what is this stoppage of play and this lull going to do to this football game and the momentum and everything that it carries. We're going to come back with a 3rd and long situation for the Bulldogs in Grand Valley territory. But again, this is a situation that you can't coach, you can't practice. This comes down to leadership. This comes down to the seniors making sure that they pick up some of the guys that haven't been through this type of situation before, and make sure everybody rallies around each other, understand that you're there for your teammate. And we're going to see a lot of leadership on both sides of this football, both in red and blue, coming out here once things get started again.
Obviously not going to speculate what's going on, what the issue is. He just took a very hard hit on a little, like you talked about, little ride play. Golker decided to hand off to him. He got strung out. Looked like he tried to high step or hurdle a defender, and he just got met by a couple of bigger football players, some defensive linemen, linebackers trying to chase him down, and he took a hard fall. And that's all that we know right now, and he has not gotten up. I did see him move, so that was encouraging. But you just want to take all the necessary precautions. And we will step aside for another break as they will take care of him. And he'll get checked out, and hopefully he'll be okay. We're back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Where can you find top name brand products at low local prices? Only at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Our expert staff will work with you to select the perfect appliance, mattress, or TV that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Innovation and quality are built into every GE kitchen and laundry appliance. Save big on the latest GE appliances now at Nowara Brothers.
Feel the difference today and get more at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Nowara Brothers Home Store, just 3 blocks east of John Ball Zoo.
We're back live from Lubber Stadium. Brian Vongers, Bob Mitchell here. We're just underway in the second half in the Anchorbone Classic, and we did get some encouraging news as they have now put the Ferris State player Dion Small, running back return specialist, up here on the stretcher. They're going to wheel him off and get him checked out. But he was moving his extremities, Bob, so that's very encouraging news.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great, again, the sportsmanship that's been shown here has been unbelievable as the staff for Grand Valley has instructed the Ferris State football team where he was going to be headed so that they could line up, talk, and see his teammate as they head off the field right here and see Coach Tony Anise taking a gander and talking to his young player. But, yeah, I mean, great to hear that he was moving some extremities. But, man, this is something that shakes up a lot of football players. Like you said, these guys come out here and expect to get dinged up a little bit, something here or there, but nobody expects the stretcher to come out. And it's, again, Grand Valley and Ferris are going to have to show some leadership right here amongst both their teams and get ready to play football again. And it's the reality of the sport. It's a tough sport. Played it for 16 years myself. Can't count the amount of surgeries I had, but you feel for the family, the mom, as a dad myself and a granddad, good Lord. But, Dion Small from Deerfield Beach, Florida, we're sending out prayers to you and your family.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, now the emotion picks up for Ferris State. They want to play for their fallen player. Grand Valley State now has to pick the juice back up as we get back to action here, just underway in the third quarter. Crowd making some noise again. It's 3rd and 16 for Ferris State. This is probably 4-down territory for the Bulldogs. Carson Golker's in at quarterback as we get back to play. Running back motions out. Golker alone in the backfield, takes the snap. Little twist game. Crossing route, complete. Trying to shake away from traffic, not going to do so. He does slip away from one tackler, not the slew of others, as plunging ahead on the reception there for Ferris State was number 3, Amari O'Brien, a junior out of Harper Woods. He got a few yards. They're going to try a field goal here, Bob.
Yeah, great job right there by Kobe Hayward. He was the guy that really forced him back into the pursuit of the Grand Valley defense. They tried an underneath crossing route, trying to get him exposed to the outside, but Kobe did a great job of forcing him back into his teammates.
40-yard field goal attempt coming up for Mitch Middleton, a sophomore out of Middleville, Michigan. Brady Rose is the holder. With the wind slightly. Ball in the middle of the field. Play clock's down to 5. Snap is a good one. Hold this down. Kick is up. And it is no good. He hooked it wide to the left. The Laker defense holds.
A huge hold by the Grand Valley defense right there. And we talked about the possessions being so important coming out of the second half. And Coach Wooster kind of downplayed, we're going to have 11 possessions. This one's important, but none more important than the other 11. And true to himself, he's really right there as Grand Valley holds Ferris State here. As we take a look at this kick, looks like it was set up good and just kind of hooks it to his left and his wide left. So Lakers come out in decent field position here at the 22.5-yard line, and see who comes out here. It looks like it's going to be Avery Moore at quarterback.
Well, the first possession of the second half was, I guess you could say, disastrous. Resulted in an interception by Cade Peterson as they went backwards that whole possession. Now Avery Moore's in. On the snap. Fakes the reverse to Kyle Knott. Able to work his way into the second level. Carrying would-be tacklers for a first down and more. Gets a rugby push from his offensive lineman out to the 44-yard line for a pickup there of nearly 20 yards.
You want to talk about something that can fire up your Laker team as a quarterback that can carry 5 or 6 defenders 5 yards for a huge first down. And what a great design by Matt Bitsum. Fake the reverse, and you saw the fake pitch there by Avery Moore. Does a great job of selling it and keeping the pursuit away from him, and a huge play for the Lakers.
Much needed first down. Cade Peterson back in as Avery Moore takes a breather. Tariq Reed, the running back. Edge pressure coming from Ferris State. Play action fake. On an out route. Long throw complete to Knott. Knott able to work his way ahead close to the 40-yard line of Ferris State for a first down. Great throw again by Cade Peterson.
Great play. A dangerous throw out there. Sean Stevens was right there, and it looked like Cody Tierney came back to the ball to make sure that, or is that Kyle Knott that made that play? Kyle Knott comes back to the ball to make sure that Sean Stevens can't make a break on that ball, and here it is right here again. from one hash all the way to the sidelines. And yeah, great job by Kyle Knott making sure that he's the guy that catches that football.
Lakers in Bulldogs territory after just 2 plays. Peterson takes the snap, hands it off. Tariq Reed trying to burst ahead, dipping the shoulder, and he's shoved backwards after just a 3-yard gain to the 40 of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, very stout defensive front right there, and it's the 2 big guys, Victor Nelson and Darren Irving Bay, that really do a good job of running sideline to sidelines. For 2 big guys, they can really run this field, and they do a good job of keeping that to a short game. But again, Grand Valley, like we said, keep to yourself. Get the ball into your playmakers' hands and make sure that you're doing the right things. And Grand Valley on this drive has done that.
2nd and 7, in plus territory, up by 2 scores still. Kasu bobs in motion to the right. Peterson takes the snap, short drop, has time. He's going to throw the wheel route, looking for Reed, and almost pursued down by Tierney, and it falls harmlessly to the turf, incomplete.
Well, that was, like you said, was a wheel route to Tariq Reed on the outside, and he just quit on his route. I think him and Kate Peterson will have some words when he come to the huddle, but it looked like he might have had an advantage right there, but for whatever reason, just kind of stopped on the route and gave the Ferris defender an opportunity to make a play on the ball.
3rd and 7. See if this could possibly, at worst, be 4-down territory. Peterson at quarterback. They'll check off to the sideline. Play clock down to 10. Ferris blitzes off the edge. It's a handoff. Trying to cut it back. Eichelberger spins his way ahead. He's a yard short. Almost got to the sticks. 4th and 1. And you know GVSU is going to go for it. And this is something you don't want to see. Their center, Kyler Blake-Jones, slow to get up.
Well, a great audible right here by Grand Valley. They see the pressure coming from that right side, and they run a run play away from that pressure, allowing Eichelberger to get close to that first down. A great audible, great execution by Grand Valley. Now we got 4th and just inches right here, and they're going to bring in their big running quarterback in Avery Moore, but they'll have Cade Peterson here in the shotgun.
They go heavy. Tariq Reed to his left. Moore goes in motion. Now he goes under center. Takes the snap, hands off right side. Tariq Reed, he got tripped up. Did he get enough? No, he didn't. I thought he was in the clear, but somehow he was tripped up, and I don't think he got it.
Yeah, it's all going to be dependent on the spot, which foot he puts it on. He put a decent spot on there on that right foot. Oh, boy. That's a fortuitous spot right there, and I think both teams are looking at it like it's going to be Ferris State football. What a stop right there, and great pursuit by the defense. I like the play call. It was a great job of getting to the outside, and it was just a great play by Ferris. And I think it may have been Justin Payout that came out and was able to trip up Tariq Reed on the outside right there.
I saw nothing but green grass down the field. I thought he was in the clear. That's just a great play. Nothing you can do. So Ferris gets the 4th down stop, and they go back to work, still down 14. Golker in the quarterback, and we got shifting around, and a false start against Ferris State. Again, they bit on the stemming by the defensive front for the Lakers.
Bob Anderson, the right guard right there, just kind of flinched, it looked like. Or no, is it?
False start, 74.
Yeah, it was.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
A sophomore
remains
from Rochester Adams. Him and his twin brother, number 72, Tim Anderson, hold down that right side of the offensive line. They must have gone through some food in that household.
It was good eyes by you, too. So 1st and 15, that's the 11th penalty against Ferris State. Halfway through the 3rd quarter from their own 29. Golker hunches over, play action fake. On the bubble screen, complete back to the original line of scrimmage goes Jefferson before he's shoved out of bounds. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, back to that offsides again. It was just the defensive stemming into a different look and formation that catches them offsides, which it worked in that first half. And now that penalty, along with that great pursuit for Grand Valley, is going to force Ferris into a 2nd and long situation.
Only got 4, so 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs. This quarter's been played close to the vest so far. Empty is Golker. Here comes a middle blitz. Pocket holds, one-on-one coverage. He overshot his intended target. And Markel King incomplete. That's good coverage there down the field for GVSU. Is that Petrito?
That is Cole Petrito again, man-on-man coverage. They're asking a lot of these guys for the defense, and they're coming up big here today, running stride for stride with the very fast Markel King from Wellington, Florida, another one of those Florida recruits for Coach Tony Anise.
3rd and 11 for the Bulldogs. Lakers win a full hockey line change on their defensive front. 4 fresh guys up front. They're showing edge pressure. Here they come. Swanson up the middle. He's got Golker trying to spin him down. I think he was down. Yes, he is down. It's a sack for Abe Swanson back around the 22-yard line.
What a great call by Jim Lewis, his defensive staff. They had Abe Swanson lined up at middle linebacker and just looked like he was just going to sit there and just be like a scout or an eagle on the quarterback. But instead, he comes up that A-gap and does a nice job of getting him downfield. And you can see he calls him down in possession. The knee wasn't down, but he called down possession. A tough break for Ferris, honestly, because Golker does a nice job of getting rid of that football, and he put it in the vicinity of a receiver, so it would have been avoided intentional grounding, but a big play for Grand Valley.
Now Ferris State shifting around on special teams. It's 4th and forever. Here's the snap to their Aussie punter. Line drive, heat-seeking missile goes well away from Daryl Johnson, and it takes a great Ferris State roll. Inside the 20, down to about the 16. Boy, we saw that from Trace Hergich early in the game. Bobbled a snap and got a low line drive to go almost 60 yards. Ferris State just did it right there.
Yeah, it's a great break for Ferris State, getting that great roll on a low liner. And with the whatever wind is out there, he's got the wind in his back, but he just takes the low liner, and Grand Valley trying to stay away from that football. It's a bouncing hot potato out there. You don't want to make any mistakes there. So the offense once again, is out on the field, led by Cade Peterson. They did a good job of moving the football and kind of flipping the field on their last drive. We'll see if they can do it again here.
Peterson out there in the gun from their own 16. Claps, takes the snap. He's in trouble. Look out. Flush to his left. Lowers the shoulder and gets something out of nothing. May have gotten 2 yards. That could have been a whole lot worse, as pursuing from behind for Ferris State was Olair Oladipo, their sack leader.
Yeah, it looked like it was a broken play, but it might have been in a quarterback draw. But Ferris State calls up and dials up a run blitz and just really catches Grand Valley off guard right there. But like you said, Cade Peterson does a great job of making something out of nothing and gains a yard. Could have been a disastrous play for the Lakers.
Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the third. No points, believe it or not, have been scored in this third quarter yet. Daryl Johnson going in motion. Peterson drops back, has time, pocket hold, sets, throws, corner out. Kasu over his head. Tough throw to make. Kasu just couldn't create separation. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, just not a on-dial spot throw right there. As Kasu, the big receiver, it looked like Peterson just wanted to throw it up to him and try to have him make a play, but he just overthrows him by about 5 yards, and it's just a tough play right there. It looked like Cade Peterson had a lot of room to run there on that left side, but tried to get it to his big tight end.
Well, 3rd and 8. Got to get it to the 26-yard line for a first down. Play clock under 10. Peterson hunches over. Takes the snap. Here comes the blitz. It holds. Throw over the middle. It's over the head of Tierney. Had him. It's incomplete. Too much heat on that pass, and the Lakers go 3 and out.
Yeah, we see Tierney down there. I don't know if he's cramping. But yeah, he had him coming over the middle. A great route and a great play call by Coach Fitzum. And Cade Peterson just lets that ball float a little bit too much. Not sure if he didn't get to step into that throw, as the training staff looks like they're pushing those toes, which usually means a cramp. And a lot of times as a receiver, as a player, when you try to overextend yourself is when you get those cramps in the hamstrings or the calves. And seems to be the case right there for Cody Tierney. But yeah, tough miss right there for the Lakers. They had a receiver, they had him open, and just a miscue between Peterson and his receiver.
Well, Tierney jumped as high as he could to try and flag that football down, but I don't think even the tallest receiver in all of football could have gotten that one. That was just, it just sailed on him. So the Lakers will be forced to punt deep in their own territory. Still up 35-21. Latter moments now of the third quarter. It's been a long third quarter because of an unfortunate injury to a Ferris State Bulldog and Deion Small, who got taken away on a stretcher. And we do not have Trace Hergich in at punter for GVSU. It's going to be their place kicker, Josh Gorball.
Yeah, we heard from the truck that it sounds like Hergich might have some cramping issues going on, and it's ironic because of the weather doesn't stem to think that you're going to have any cramping issues. You usually see that in some hot, heated weather where you're dehydrated, but right now we've got Grand Valley with a couple of players with some cramping issues, and Cody Tierney's limping off the field and just hoping that's a cramp issue. And then the punter, the kicker, now punter.
Well, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh Gorball has done his fair share of punting duties.
Absolutely.
Well, Brady Rose is now back to return. He's a shifty one. You got to be careful about giving him the ball in open space. Ferris State showing pressure. Good snap. Great tail dragging kick. Actually, it's kind of off the side of his foot, wobbles around, and it hits the long snapper. That's a tough break there. And Ferris State's going to get the ball in outstanding field position as that hit the long snapper, David Kresge. We do have a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
We'll see, it's back at the 20-yard line.
It's just past the line of scrimmage. Let's see what this is all about.
Holding, number 13, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Ferris State.
Well, that's a break there because it puts the ball momentarily back into Ferris State territory.
Yeah, you saw there on the replay, Sefa Sapaya running in to the punter there. Could have been a 5-yard and a re-kick situation for Grand Valley, but no call. But the holding against Ferris State will move them back, and they'll be just inside.
My eyes deceived me there because it looked like Gorball got off a great high tail-dragging kick, but he just shanked it right off the side of his foot. Well, now the Ferris State still in good field position at their own 47. Here's Malik Mitchell back in at quarterback. First time since the first quarter.
Yeah, a little stagnant offensively here in the second half, and Coach Tony Anise going back to his starter and Malik Mitchell to see if he can drum up some things. Watch him using his feet. He's really good at using his feet in the quarterback draw situation.
Early second quarter was when he was last in, to be exact. Takes the snap. No pressure. Now he sees it. Steps up, throws over the middle. It's complete with room to run. Wade spinning around deep into GVSU territory inside the 30 to the 26.
Great composure there by Malik Mitchell, getting pressure from up the center. Kind of holds off the defender with his right arm, throws with his left, and catches Xavier Wade. And one of the things you and I talked about in our pregame is the yards after catch. These receivers are dynamic. We'll get a really good look at it as Tommy Jolly does a nice job of putting pressure, and he just steps to the side and finds Xavier Wade coming over the middle.
Mitchell now. Tunnel screen. Oh, boy. Again, there for a possible interception was Kobe Hayward. Second time. If he would have possibly looked for it, he may have snatched that out of midair.
He did a great job of avoiding the block there and getting up to the offensive player, and he did his job. He wasn't supposed to be looking for the ball. He was supposed to find the receiver. But like you said, had he have taken a quick peek inside, he may have had another opportunity for a pick six.
Talk about a dangerous throw through traffic there by Mitchell. 2nd and 10. 4.5 to go in the third. Comes Brady Rose in motion. They go empty. Mitchell takes the snap. Bubble screen. Complete in space again for a first down. Is C.J. Jefferson just following his blockers. This is their version of the run game because they haven't utilized the run game that much here this afternoon.
No, I think what they're trying to do is avoid anything they can with this pass rush for Grand Valley, and their offensive line hasn't been as stout as they've been in the past, so trying to get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback as soon as possible. And these receivers for Ferris State aren't doing a great job of running the football, but the receivers blocking are doing a great job as well.
On first down, here comes the blitz. Mitchell hit as he throws, and it's dropped. Slightly behind Jefferson, but he should have pulled that in. 2nd and 10 as Mitchell is slow to get up.
Yeah, again, great job of pressure right up the middle, and I think that was Tom Jolly again doing a great job of getting up the center right there. And it's very difficult for an interior lineman to continue to put that kind of pressure on a quarterback, and the interior line for Grand Valley has done a phenomenal job of putting pressure on this quarterback.
2nd and 10 from the Laker 15-yard line. Again, empty formation, no safety deep. Lakers looking to send pressure. Here they come up the middle. Mitchell in trouble. He's going to go down. Cardamone got him again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. 3rd and long for the Bulldogs.
Wow. A great job of dialing up the blitz again for Joe Lewis. And Cardamone's got to be careful right there. Make sure that you just get back into that huddle and make a play. But he comes in untouched. Malik tries everything he can do to get away, and he cannot. And again, Grand Valley's defense steps up huge here in the second half.
Anthony Cardamone, he's got a pick 6 for a touchdown, 3 sacks. Might as well have him play on offense possibly. 3rd and long, 3rd and 20. Play action fake. Mitchell rolls to his left, has time, looking, tucks it and runs. And he's able to dive down all the way to the 10-yard line. It's going to set up a 4th and 5.
I'll tell you what, Lawrence Hattard had a stranglehold on Niles King coming from the outside, and you could see his jersey right now off of his shoulder pad right there. And thankfully for Ferris State, no call right there, but Malik Mitchell does a great job with his feet, putting it in a situation on a 4th and short to try to get this first down. Huge play here for both Ferris and Grand Valley.
They got to get it to the 5. Lakers showing edge pressure. Running back motions out. Mitchell takes the snap. Here comes the blitz. Throws over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, Tyrese Hunt-Thompson. They just beat the man pressure, and it's down to a 1-possession game.
Cat and mouse game right there between the offensive coordinator and Tony Anise and Jim Lewis defensively. What are you going to do? You're going to bring in the pressure, but you're going to go man-to-man. You're leaving a lot of guys on an island, and Malik Mitchell does a great job of identifying that one-on-one coverage, finds Tyrese Hunt-Thompson here on the outside coming in, and you see the pressure coming in, and one more second, that play doesn't get along, but a great job of staying in the pocket and making that throw. As it looks like Ferris State's going to make this a 1-possession game.
Extra point is up. It's good. They've scored the last 28 points to get it down to 7 with 2.5 to go. We'll keep it here. But now the onus is on the Laker offense here, Bob, to get something going.
Yeah, that momentum that they started with this game, they got to come back and find what was successful for them. And I think it was being Grand Valley, running the football, passing the ball, getting the ball to your playmakers, mixing it up a little bit, but just staying to what you know it got there. And the guys has got to continue to make plays. And it's a momentum game right now, and again, you got to fall back on the leadership. We talked about it earlier, and there's a lot of great leaders on this Grand Valley football team, and not only the coaching staff, but these guys got to step up right now and make a play. Conversely, Ferris State, just continue what you've been doing here over the last 2 quarters and a half. They've been playing great football. Grand Valley hasn't found an answer defensively to stop this offense other than the first couple possessions here defensively, but offensively Grand Valley has really been thwarted here for about a quarter. They got to find some magic here to make a play.
Well, the key play was that 3rd and 20, that scramble by Mitchell to set him up, 4th and 5, leading to that touchdown pass. Well, don't go away, folks. We're in for a good finish. You knew this Ferris State team was not going to just walk out of this stadium with their tails tucked between their legs.
You and I talked about it at 35-0. Why don't we feel comfortable?
Yes, exactly.
It's because of this rivalry.
Middleton's kick, end over end, backpedaling. Johnson inside the 5, trying to burn away from traffic. Stutter stepping, and he's down at the 10. Just too much speed on the edge. Couldn't get the corner, and the Lakers are pinned back in their own end.
Yeah, that might have been a situation to where the fair catch would have been a good play. Anytime that you're going to receive a kickoff and you're backpedaling that hard, it's really difficult to get momentum to really get the timing down for your blockers and get upfield. Grand Valley's going to have some tough field position backed up on their 10.5-yard line right now, and it's going to be up to Cade Peterson, this offensive line, to really step up, make some plays.
From their own 10, Peterson hunches over, takes the snap. Handoff to Reed. Reed slowed down, spins away back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. May have lost a yard. Ferris State is just flowing to the football.
They are flying to the football, and they're doing a great job at the attack. Grand Valley is against the defensive line, but it's the linebackers and the scraping and the safeties are coming up. They are so aggressive to that run. Grand Valley is going to have to find something to really take advantage of the aggressiveness of Ferris State, whether it's a screen, a draw, something to really affect the aggressiveness Ferris State's coming with.
They're going to give him a yard loss, so 2nd and 11. Under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Peterson takes the snap, play action fake. Sets, throws one-on-one towards the Ferris sideline. Great grab made, but out of bounds. It was pulled in. Signaling he made the catch was Jordan Johnson. The question is, did he get a foot in?
Yeah, it looked like a great job of tracking that football. Great coverage right there, too, and forcing out. But I think the ball was thrown a little bit too far to the outside, and we'll get a good look at it right here, whether or not he gets a foot in. But it looks like that left foot was stepped out of bounds on a little bit of white popping up right there. And just a really close call. That would have been a huge play for the Lakers. So again, you got a one-on-one situation to the outside. Grand Valley's got to dial up something that gives you a couple more options here offensively.
Play clock under 10. 3rd and long. Down to 5. Ferris State, here comes more pressure off the edge. Peterson throws, in route, caught, first down, Lakers, sliding grab made by Donovan Johnson.
Huge play, a great catch by Donovan going down and catching that football. A great job by Cade Peterson stepping in the pocket. There was a lot of pressure right here. Look at this this thing collapsing, and he's got a guy coming right in his face. He steps up and delivers a great football right there. What a play for Grand Valley, getting them out of their own end zone.
Huge. Kind of makes them take a breather a little bit here as we're down to a minute to go in the third. Avery Moore in at quarterback now. He'll check off to the sideline. Play clock down to 7. On the snap, play action fake. Moore out route and unable to scoop it off the deck is Jordan Johnson. Moore just didn't get enough on that pass. It's incomplete.
That's exactly what you wanted if you're Grand Valley. Just a one-on-one situation, just a pitch and catch to the outside, let your receiver make the play, get 5, 6, 7 good yards on first down, and Avery Moore just can't put it on the receiver. He's got a nice arm. He can get in there. He's just got to get in some rhythm.
So 2nd and 10 from their own 26. Final moments of this third quarter. We're 3 hours in almost. We still got a full quarter to go. Why not play all night? Moore on the snap. Sweep to the left side. He's got blockers. Can he turn the corner? He slightly does. Takes a late pop out of bounds. He's close to the sticks. I think he got it, Bob, exactly 10 yards.
Yeah, they're calling it first down right there, and a big play. A great job of setting the edge on the left side for Grand Valley with Jordan Davis and Garrett Carroll over there, along with Kyler Jones pulling. What a great job of setting that edge for Grand Valley, getting that first down.
Down to 30 seconds. They'll have to run at least one more play. 6th largest attendance in Lubber Stadium history, I was told, for this game this afternoon. Here's Peterson now. Handoff right side. Tariq Reed following his blockers. Hurdles a defender. Sidesteps another. First down as he's escorted out of bounds around the 47-yard line. What a great individual effort there by Tariq Reed.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Not a lot of good things when you leave your feet in the air, but right there, Tariq Reed does a nice job of really getting over the congestion that was there on the field. We get a really good look at it here from behind the play. Tariq Reed finding that hole, sees a defender stepping right there, number 12, and jumps right over him to get additional yardage as we enter the fourth quarter with Grand Valley having a lot of momentum offensively.
They'll flip ends. We got 15 minutes to go in the Anchorbone Classic. Number 4 GVSU hanging on to a 35-28 lead over number 1 Ferris State. Back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
University of Michigan Health West is here to help you stay in the game. No matter what kind of athlete you are, the region's premier sports medicine program is here to help you stay on the move. With decades of experience in sports medicine care at 5 of our health centers, our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
Grit, determination, dedication. All the things you would find in a champion. In other words, all the things you would find in a Laker. The 616 is the home of the Lakers. It's where champions are built. We need to help shape our next chapter. Are you ready to make an impact? Are you ready to join our team? Support GVSU Athletics today. Anchor up.
Final 15 minutes of play coming your way here at Lubber Stadium. Brian Pongers, Bob Mitchell, GVSU ball at their own 47 with a 1st and 10, and we have a stoppage. Not sure what it's all about. No penalty. As the Lakers holding on to a 35-28 lead over Ferris State, looking to retain the Anchorbone Trophy and keep it in Allendale for another year. Well, they were telling the band to stop playing. Well, we saw that in the Colorado game the other night, last night. Avery Moore goes in motion. They hand it off short side to Tariq Reed. Almost stumbled, kept his footing, and lunges ahead into Ferris State territory. at about the 49 for a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, great job, like you said, trying to plant that right foot and get upfield. Jason Williams, the middle linebacker, doing a good job of scraping the junior from West Bloomfield. Leads the team with 21 tackles on the season and just holds Grand Valley to a short gain. But Grand Valley's got to be happy with the way that they're moving the football methodically down the field, taking the time off the clock, keeping this explosive Ferris State offense off the field, and really trying to mix it up here as we see Cade Peterson again in here leading this offense for Grand Valley.
2nd and 6 for the Lakers. Kyle Knott going in motion. Pop pass to Kyle Knott to the wide side, trying to set up his blocks, and he's going nowhere. Got no yardage there. They'll set up a 3rd and 6. Kasu goes down, trying to draw a penalty. No flags.
Yeah, great job by that defensive front for Ferris State, stringing that ball out. Ian Hall on the right side really does a great job of stringing that out. And you saw the big defensive lineman, Oladipo, looking for a holding call on that, but he got mixed up a little bit there on the inside, and I think that was big Jalen Caldwell that was man-to-man on him, but that was big man football right there as Grand Valley has got a 3rd and about 6 situation here.
Again from the Bulldogs, 49. Kellen Reed going in motion through the formation. Peterson facing a 5-man rush. Pocket holds. Flag comes down. He wings it over the middle. Another flag gets caught. This might be offsetting penalties, as clearly getting held while making the catch was Daryl Johnson. I think we're going to try it again.
Yeah, I think it was that Caldwell-Oladipo matchup again. I think he was so upset, Oladipo, on that last call. He didn't get the holding call. We might get one right here, but we'll see what happens in the backfield here for Ferris State, as there was a flag thrown back that way.
Should be offsetting penalties, because Daryl Johnson was getting grabbed all the way down the field. We'll see here.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. Holding, 77, offense. Holding, 20, defense. Penalties offset. Repeat, 3rd down.
Take 2 coming up on 3rd and 6. That was just kind of a prayer ball thrown up by Peterson. Unfortunately, there was a penalty and he didn't get it picked off.
Yeah, just a short throw. Good job right there by Daryl Johnson coming back to making the play on that football, but sets up a same play right here at 3rd and 6 for Grand Valley.
Here we go again. Here comes the pressure off the edge, and the Bulldogs jumped. It's going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Victor Nelson, the big fella, 5'10", 300 pounds. He's a transfer from Saginaw Valley State. A few transfers on this Ferris State football team, but he just gets a little over anxious, and it's going to set up a 3rd and very short situation for Grand Valley.
Should be offsides. Here's the call.
Offside. Defense. 99. 5-yard penalty. Makes 3rd down.
In these tight games, penalties this late in the game can be backbreakers. Now it's 3rd and 1. And if you're GVSU, just get the first down. Find a way to get the first down. Lakers have not scored in this second half. Ferris State has scored once to get it down to a 1-score game. It's 35-21 at the half.
You got Avery Moore in at quarterback, so you know Ferris State's going to really load this box up and make it very difficult for him to run the football and get that first down.
Yeah, there's no safety deep. Jordan Johnson goes in motion. It's a sweep. Moore turns upfield, got the first down, and Moore down the sideline he goes. 20, stiff arm, 10, 5, he's in bounds. Yes, touchdown Lakers. Avery Moore, 44 yards.
What a run, and what a great job of blocking on the outside. Avery Moore does a great job of being patient, setting up his blockers, as we'll see here on the replay, and a good job of man-on-man. Kasu doing a great job blocking the big fella Oladipo and sticking with that block and pancake him in the background. And look at Avery Moore, uses that stiff arm and does a great job of keeping his balance and getting to the end zone. A huge, huge answer for Grand Valley, who hasn't done much offensively in a while. Grand Valley looking to go up 2 touchdowns.
Gorball's extra point is up. Good. 42-28 GVSU. Avery Moore's second long rushing touchdown of the afternoon. As we'll keep it here. What a response. They needed that in a big way.
You talked about it. They load up that box, and one of the things that when you load up the box like that, you break that first level, it's nothing but green. And Avery Moore, as we take another look at this replay, look at the block on the outside here. Number 88, Big Gavin Kasu, stays with that block. Keep an eye on that right side of the screen. He pancakes him. But look at Avery Moore here with that left arm, stiff arm. No thank you. I'm going to the end zone. What a job by Avery Moore. And what an answer for Grand Valley State University.
Their first points in quite a while, Bob. I'm looking back. Their last points came with 12:34 to go in the second quarter with that Cardamone pick six. It's been what seemed like a day and a half since their last points, but much needed, much needed.
And those were defensive points. You
Yes.
got to go back and a little bit longer for the offensive points. But again, that front five for Grand Valley just continues to do a great job, not only in pass protection, but right there on the run block, and mix in a little tight end action right there, as Gavin Cassu does a great job of setting that edge and allowing Avery Moore to get upfield and score that huge touchdown.
A lot of football still to go, 13 minutes. But a good answer by that offensive line. So, here comes Colin Kraylap with the approach and the boot. High end over end kick, it's returnable. At about the 5-yard line, in between the hash marks and the numbers. Slithering just shy of the 25-yard line before tumbling down on the return there. That was C.J. Jefferson, their wide receiver, because Deion Small is out of the game.
Yeah, and who's on that tackle but Kobe Hayward? He's having a game himself, special teams and on defense. He's doing a lot for this Grand Valley football program.
Well, now defensively, let's see if they can get an answer and a stop and a punting situation.
Yeah, I can't see Grand Valley doing a lot of man coverage right here. I think they're going to have a free safety with Ian Kennelly over the top a lot and try to get to the quarterback with 4. They don't want to give up that big play.
Over the middle, Mitchell finds his target for a first down. On the completion there, he finds Amari O'Brien, the junior, to move the sticks out to the 38, and the Bulldogs will go tempo.
Yeah, this is a tough situation for Grand Valley as far as the defense is concerned. Do you give up some yardage to take some time off the clock, or do you try to bring some pressure? When you bring that pressure, it kind of opens up an opportunity for a big play.
Mitchell drops back, pump fakes, has time, now it closes, he's in trouble, he lost the football, it's loose on the turf, and it's pounced on by a Bulldog lineman, but all the way back at the 12-yard line.
Niles King, he's the guy right there that came in to make that play. He was getting warded off by an offensive lineman, got that big paw, that big left arm, and then I think it was either Suggs or McCarroll. We'll get a good look at it right here. As you see, look at him. There he is with that big left paw, and it was Javier Suggs that comes in as Malik Mitchell was just trying to get rid of that football and throw it away, and what a great job of pressure. Just a little stunt to the inside and outside for Grand Valley.
Late subs checking in for GVSU. It's 2nd and a country mile for Ferris State. Play clock down to 5. Mitchell, 3-man rush, drops back over the middle. It's lofted to Jefferson. Got a long way to go, and he's spun down at the 25. They need to go all the way to the 48 for a first down, so it's 3rd and 23 if my math is correct.
Again, Grand Valley's got to play soft here a little bit, try to rush with just 4 guys and dropping coverage, but not play too soft to where you give Ferris State an opportunity to go for it on 4th down if they get short yardage situations. So we'll see if Grand Valley dials up some pressure.
Mitchell walks up to his offensive lineman with 10 on the play clock. Lakers showing pressure off the edge. Let's see if they come. On the snap, twist game, flush to his left. Now he gets rid of it. Caught by Jefferson, spinning away from one, but not the other. He's well short of the first down at the 36. They're 12 yards shy.
This is where Tony Anise has to make a decision. He's down 2 possessions with only 10 minutes. He's going to bring out his punt team, but that does not necessarily mean punt. Grand Valley is going to bring in their punt return team. I was surprised. I thought they'd keep their defense out there.
They got their 2 normal kickers back there, and the Aussie Ethan Sosen and their place kicker Mitch Middleton. No quarterbacks in there. And Scott Wooster is going to burn a timeout. He didn't like what he saw.
I was just about to say, watch for Grand Valley to call a timeout, because this is a situation where Grand Valley offensively, down up 2 possessions, can milk a lot of clock right now. And Coach Anise has to make a decision at some point to take some gambles to try to keep his offense out on the field, to try to get a couple of scores. And I think this is an opportunity. You said no quarterback out on the field, but there's athletes all over the place out there. And I think Coach Wooster wanted to make sure that he had all his guys in the right position right there. And it still looks like that the defense is going to stay on the sidelines, and he's going to put his punt return team out there.
All 4 quarterbacks, 2 on each side, have contributed mightily to the cause for both Grand Valley State and Ferris State. We've just seen plays being made all over the field.
And what a fun environment, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you talked about it. What a crowd. You know, Grand Valley leads the nation in attendance, averaging over 14,000 a game, 11 consecutive years of leading the nation. But there's watch parties all over the place. I know downtown in Dukes, they're having a watch party out there going crazy for their Lakers. Out in Arizona, out in Minnesota, it's just a blast to hear all the alumni watching this football game. And what a rivalry and what a football game it's been.
2 kickers. They shift around. Interesting formation. Here's the snap and the left-footed kick. Line drive, tail-dragging kick fielded by Daryl Johnson. Shoulder shake up the middle of the field. Bounces outside. He's lassoed down and brought down from behind at about the 35. So they get the ball back, up 2 scores with 10 minutes to go. That was a unique snap there from an acute angle by the long snapper to the kicker.
A lot of Grand Valley fans holding their breath on that shift because you really never know what's Tony Anise is going to pull out of his hat. But Grand Valley doing a great job right there fielding that punt, getting upfield, and now it's up to the offense to try to move the chains and work some time off of this clock, up 2 scores.
You have to feel if they can punch it in again, that could be a dagger. Peterson on the snap. They fake the reverse. Tariq Reed cuts it back, and he's tripped up. Dives ahead for almost 4 yards. We'll call it 3, 2nd and 7. They're trying to see if that reverse look, as we have, is that Gabe Brown shaking up?
I think it's Garrett Carroll.
Garrett Carroll.
Oh.
Yeah, that is Garrett Carroll, one of the captains. Hopefully it's just a cramp. And the way, like you said earlier, like they're bending that foot, it does look like a cramp in the calf area.
Yeah, and he's grabbing onto that water bottle. That's a good sign if you're, especially if you're a parent. You want to see him pushing those toes and grabbing onto that water bottle, which is a cramp situation.
But finishing my thought there, Bob, they're faking that reverse. Yeah. It could be open on the back end if they try it again.
Yeah, I saw the same thing you saw. You know, you got a speedster out there in Daryl Johnson who can just absolutely fly, and it looked like he had a one-on-one situation right there. And right now, Ferris they've got to pull their ears back, and they've got to go after Grand Valley right now. They're down 2 possessions with the clock inside of 10 minutes, so they got to do everything they can to be aggressive as they can. And like you said, you know, whether it's a screen or whether it's a reverse or anything that takes advantage of the aggressiveness of Ferris State is going to benefit, I think, Grand Valley offensively.
In to replace Garrett Carroll for the moment is Jeff. That's 62.
Yeah, Jeff Burton.
Jeff Burton. Redshirt freshman out of Dearborn. And we've mentioned this before on previous broadcasts. Scott Wooster throughout the season said they got to figure out behind the first-string offensive lineman who can step up in that secondary role. And this is an opportunity here for a guy like Jeff Burton. On 2nd and 6, we'll call it, a long 6. On the snap. Misdirection to Moore. He lost it. Reverse pivots back to the other side, and that's trouble. It was a good handoff. Avery Moore just couldn't settle it in, and he lost 6 yards back to the 33.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was going back to. You try to just stick to what you're doing and do it well. They're trying to bring 2 quarterbacks into the system, trying to make some confusion for Ferris State, but they're just treating Avery Moore as an H-back or maybe even a slot receiver, and it's really not a whole lot that he can do other than maybe throw the football. But they've worked it in practice this week a lot, I know, but again, it's not the full year where you get those reps on those exchanges, and Grand Valley's going to be forced to a 3rd and long situation here.
3rd and a dozen. Peterson in the gun takes the snap. Pocket holds, out route, complete. Jordan Johnson. Can he shoo off the would-be tackler? No. He is twisted out of bounds short of the first down by 4 yards.
Yeah, good job of pitch and catch there, but Ferris State does a great job, and that's Lento Smith there on the coverage, getting him out of bounds, and that's going to force the Lakers to punt the football.
And again, Trace Hergich, due to apparent cramping issues, not in the game. Going to be Josh Gorball kicking this ball away. The first punt attempt, he shanked it off the side of his foot. Ferris State is in utter chaos here, trying to sub on the fly. I don't know if they have enough guys out there. I believe they do. Play clock down to 5. Snap is away, and it's almost blocked. Much better kick this time. A tail-dragging kick by Gorball. Rose gets it, and boy, did he signal for a fair catch? Apparently he did.
Yep.
Jumps on it around the 18-yard line. So Ferris State gets it back, down by 2 scores. 8:11 to go in the Anchor Bone Classic. We're back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Live from Lumber Stadium, Brian Fongers, Bob Mitchell. Ferris State Bulldog ball, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Malik Mitchell drops back, steps up, flush to his right, flag comes down. A one-handed grab nicely on the run made by Tyrese Hunt-Thompson. However, there's a flag on the play, and this one is moving backwards.
Yeah, that's Mr. Niles King causing havoc again. Got by the offensive line and was about to grab on to Malik Mitchell before he got rid of that football and was just tugged backwards.
Holding
by
77, offense. Hefters to the goal from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Yeah, it's by the big offensive lineman, Travis Miracle, the young man out of Yale, Michigan. And, I mean, you talk about the pressure between this defensive front and between JVR Suggs and McCarroll and Niles King. I mean, these guys are just putting the pressure on.
8 minutes to go. Number 4, GVSU, holding that 2-touchdown lead over number 1, Ferris State. Malik Mitchell in at quarterback, pinned deep in his own territory at the 9. First and 19 after the holding call. So plenty of time on the play clock. Confusion in the backfield. Now he takes the snap, twist game, throw over the middle, complete to Rose, slowed down, and he is whipped to the ground after just a few-yard gain to the 12.
Yeah, great job, Grand Valley, keeping everything in front of him. Rose is a tricky guy to get down, but if you can extend that play as far as you can to the sidelines, it allows your pursuit to come up and make a play, and that's exactly what happened right there. A great job by Rincelli forcing him to go backwards, and then great pursuit there from Grand Valley to get him down.
Kobe Hayward on the stop. 2nd and 16 now for the Bulldogs. Time against him. Mitchell takes the snap, play action fake. He's in trouble, hit as he throws, complete on the long throw to Rose. Not going very far after the catch as he is shoved backwards after getting back to the original line of scrimmage at the 18, 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, great job of putting pressure right there with just 3 defensive linemen. Malik Mitchell's hit as he throws the football, and then Grand Valley again. Great pursuit to the football, keeping Brady Rose on a short gain as we see him there.
That was Kobe Hayward again on the stop. He's been flying around in that secondary for the Lakers. 3rd and 10, empty as they motion a guy out. There's another receiver in motion, that's Jefferson. 3-man rush. Mitchell, short throw, complete. Diving ahead, short of the first down by about 3 yards, is once again Amari O'Brien. He's going to set up a 4th and 3, and I think Ferris State will go for this.
Yeah, they have to. With just over 6 minutes to go, down 2 scores. Ferris is going to be really forced to go for it here on 4th down. And, Grand Valley wants to try to load the box to try to get hold them, but they also can't give up the big play.
4th and short. Hard count. Lakers don't budge. They'll check off to the sideline. Under 6 to go. 4th and a short 3. Mitchell takes the snap. Pressure. Hit as he throws. It's complete for a first down. What a throw to Jefferson. And Mitchell got absolutely blitzed from behind by Colton Heibel.
Yeah, Heibel with a big hit. Luke McClain just on the under coverage right there. And it looked like Grand Valley had that defended really, really well. But watch this. You'll get a great look at it. Malik Mitchell just puts it right where he needs to put it between Pringle, and just a great job of delivering that football. A huge first down for the Bulldogs.
However, the clock continues to run. We're coming up on 5 minutes. Ferris State still has all 3 timeouts. They want to try and score quickly. Mitchell takes the snap. Just a 3-man rush. Has plenty of time. Pump fakes, throws, overshot his receiver, and getting leveled because of it, because he was hung out to dry, was Hunt Thompson incomplete. That was a clean hit.
Yeah, Malik Mitchell really wanted to try to hit Xavier Wade on a one-on-one situation up top, and I think that's exactly where Coach Anise wanted him to throw the football. Throw it up there and try to let your best receiver make a football play or try to get a pass interference, and he just doesn't see it as an option and goes late over the middle. And
Abe Swanson delivered the punishment.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10, clock stops.
If you're Grand Valley defensively, you want to see some safety help over the top on some of those throws.
Again, the Lakers just showing a 3-man front. They rush only 3. But here comes McCarroll. Flush to his left is Mitchell. Throws across his body, and is it incomplete? Yes, it is. Unable to haul it in, and we get a very late shove and a frustration penalty against Ferris State. Oh, that's just ill-advised.
Jarvis Wyndham, the big center out of Cass Tech, just a little bit too much, and like you said, I think a little frustration. A great job by Malik Mitchell using his feet to create some extra time and finding his receiver.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 52, offense, his first blow of the game.
That's just
the
uncalled
down
for.
counts. It will be 3rd down.
That's just ill-advised, as Tony Anise did the right thing and told him to take a seat.
Yeah, Rincelli just doing a great job of kind of staying face to face. There's a little bit of a size differential right there, but Rincelli not backing down at all, and a big mistake there by Jarvis Wyndham. That little extra shove forcing a 3rd and very, very long situation here for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 25. That pass was dropped, by the way, by C.J. Jefferson on that crossbody throw. They got a long way to go. They got to go get the first down at the GVSU 45. Crowd making some noise. Rose going in motion. It hits Rose in the back, picked up by Mitchell, steps up, across his body, complete. Hunt Thompson skirting ahead across the original line of scrimmage to the 46. How lucky can you be on that play? It hit Rose in the back, a mistimed snap, somehow went into the hands of Mitchell. 4th and 9 coming up.
And DeMonte McCurdy did a great job of keeping the receiver inside here. We'll get a good look at it here on the replay. Just a crazy play and a fortuitous bounce right there for Malik Mitchell and the Bulldogs. But as he throws it out, watch McCurdy right here get to the outside and force him back in.
4th and 9. This is the ball game for Ferris State. If they can't convert, play clock under 10. Lakers showing edge pressure on the snap. They rush 4. Mitchell spins away from 1, steps up, throws. It's complete into Laker territory for a first down. Keeps the game alive to Hunt Thompson.
Oh, they're saying incomplete. The ball hit the ground.
They said he dropped it in front of his own bench. They're talking about it. Oh, and we've got a Ferris State player throwing his mouthpiece at an official. Tony Anise is just incensed.
Yeah, it looked like a catch from where we're at. We're going to get a good look at the replay right here. How about Malik Mitchell doing a great job of spinning out of pressure there at Colton Heibel and does a great job of delivering.
Pass. Ferris State has
timeout. What a call right there.
And what a great hit made. Is that Luke McLean on the hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost control going to the ground, and you would assume Ferris State wants to challenge
Absolutely, and this is where it's going to be. Again, the call on the field, but does he make a football move is going to be the key right here. Looks like he caught the ball and secured it, and as he was about to make that left turn and that football move is when he got hit. The ball comes loose and falls to the ground. This is going to be a huge call here, obviously, here late in the 4th quarter with just under 4 minutes left. If Ferris
challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
If Ferris State does not get this first down and Grand Valley gets the football, they're going to be able to milk this clock down up 2 scores.
That is not surprising that they're challenging it, but man, you had Ferris State players, you got to be careful. It's an emotional game. Yeah. I saw a mouthpiece being thrown at an official. I understand, but man, the game's still not over. So we'll see what this call, how this transpires, because like you said, it's like that fumble with Avery Moore late in the first half. The call on the field is key.
Here's a good look at it right here as you see the receiver catch the ball. But there, yeah, it looks like it comes loose before he's able to make the play, hits the ground, and he regains possession right there. I think it's a good football call right there.
That back judge right there is the one who made that call.
He's got a good eye on it. The line judge came in and did a good job of making that call, and this is going to be absolutely huge for both sides right here. And again, give Grand Valley's defense a lot of credit for staying on that play and coming up and making that hit.
They're showing the replay on the big screen here as we're going to see it again. It's a judgment call with this football-related move.
Yeah.
He has it for a moment, and then he drops it. But the question is, like you said, does he make a football-related move?
Yeah, and then right now I love the fact that Grand Valley's got home field advantage. They got the big replay board up there, but if you're Grand Valley, your football players and the team, they need to control their emotions right now and make sure that they keep their heads. Let the officials make the call, because you never know where this call can go. But it's going to be tough to overturn. We talked about it earlier. When you have a play that's this close, the call on the field usually stands. And here we go.
Yep. Ferris State's defense is on the field right now, acting like this is going to stand.
Review. The receiver caught the ball, maintained possession of the ball. First down, 38-yard line.
That's
Ferris
exactly.
State.
Brian Earl makes that call, and against what everybody at Grand Valley is thinking, you got to keep you never know what these officials are going to call. It's all about that football move and that call right there, and that's a tough one. But again, composure is a big thing right now. You got to get your defense out there. Play the next play. Here we go. You're up 2 scores.
Yep.
You've been putting pressure on all night long. There's only 3 minutes and 58 seconds left in this game, and Grand Valley is not even ready defensively. They're going to have to use a timeout.
Yeah, you gotta burn a timeout, because there's just all sorts of chaos on the field. I know the fans for Grand Valley don't like the call, but like you said, you got to battle through it.
This is something that the team, the coaches, and the team can't get caught up in the emotion of what the fans are projecting right here. You got to come out and be ready to play the next play.
Play clock down to 5 already, and what do we got?
Looks like the left tackle, number 77, jumped out of his stance.
You are correct. Another penalty against Ferris State.
Niles King looked like he was coming off that hard right edge and may have induced
Full start, 15, offense.
Oh, they actually called
penalty.
it.
Remains, first down.
On Xavier Wade.
One of the wide receivers at the outside.
So 1st and 15 is Ferris State. Boy, they're taking a lot of time off this drive, and they're not doing themselves any service with all these penalties.
And with the new rules right now, the clock does not stop unless it's inside of 2 minutes for a first down or out of bounds. So they're really milking a lot of time off of this clock on this drive.
Mitchell in the gun, empty. Takes the snap. It's a 3-man rush. Over the middle. It pops up in the air, and it's almost intercepted by Abe Swanson. Oh, he had it in his mitts, and he couldn't corral it. 2nd and 15. It should have been caught, and then after that, it should have been picked.
Absolutely, and the clock should still be going right now. As soon as it's set, they should wind this clock right now.
It was an incomplete pass. So 2nd and 15 after the drop on both sides of the football. Abe Swanson would love to have that one back. Again, they go empty. Mitchell takes the snap. Another 3-man rush. Has time. Climbs the ladder. In trouble. Over the middle. It's off the hands of Jefferson. Incomplete as again, Mitchell is drilled from behind.
Christian McCarroll working hard on that outside. A great job offensively for that offensive line, giving protection for Myleik Mitchell. But Christian McCarroll does not stop and comes, and he hits Myleik as he's trying to get rid of that football. And that allows that football to fly high as we have a 3rd down and long situation here with just over 3 minutes here, Ferris State.
I'll tell you what, Ferris State has been good in 3rd and long this game. They find a way to keep the drive moving.
And it's usually Myleik Mitchell doing something off the cuff.
Play clock under 10 already. Again, they go empty. 1 safety deep. The tackle moved. There's no flag. Late pressure. Flush to his left is Mitchell. Turns it upfield. Throws. Incomplete. Well over the head of Brady Rose. Boy, that left tackle again flinched. This time they didn't call it, but Mitchell was just running out of pressure. And that defensive line for DVSU has they've just been like scalded dogs out there.
They have been fantastic. I mean, right there, they bring a 3-man rush, but they sneak Abe Swanson up the middle, forcing Myleik out of the pocket, and give Heibel a lot of credit. I mean, that's a big defensive lineman chasing down an athletic quarterback right there, and he really closed the gap right there. And 4th down and long situation right here for the Bulldogs. And how many times do we say how big of a play is Tony Anise does not like the setup of what his offense is doing. He's going to use one of his timeouts.
Yeah, they had all 3 to use, but like I said, this defensive front and the linebackers included just foaming at the mouth. they have just gotten after both quarterbacks for Ferris State. And granted, they've made some plays, especially at the wide receiver position with those skill players, but give a lot of credit to this front seven defensively for GVSU. They have gotten after it from the get-go.
Absolutely, and you're hoping if you're Grand Valley that some of the opportunities that you had to end this ball game with some interceptions, the ball going through Abe Swanson's hand doesn't come back to haunt them. We'll see what Grand Valley defensively can dial up here on 4th and long. You know, Coach Anise has a full set of plays over there in his hat that he could come up with. But I think Grand Valley, like we talked about, the pressure that they've been able to put on with their front 3, 4 has been unbelievable. It's allowed them really defensively to sit back and really keep everything up in front of them. And if they can do that here and make a play in front of them before that first down stick, it's game over.
They don't get it, the game's over. 4th and 15 for Ferris State. Grand Valley trying to knock the #1 team off in the country and keep the Anchorbone Trophy in Allendale. Mitchell takes the snap, 3-man rush, plenty of time. Now he's in trouble, hit as he throws, ball is loose, recovered by Colton Heibel. Game over, Lakers are gonna win this football game.
Niles King, I called his name all day long, but what great coverage in the backfield right there. I mean, Malik Mitchell had some time there initially, but Niles King just never gave up, and he comes around that outside, and you see him right there, big 77, doing everything he can to try to keep Niles King under bay. But that pressure, they only brought 3 guys, and they got to the quarterback again. And Grand Valley's going to take over in downs here with just over 3 minutes left, up 2 scores.
Ferris State does have 2 timeouts, and for sure they're going to utilize them. 3 minutes to go. Take care of the football. Handoff. Tariq Reed, stutter stepping, gets 2 before he is shoved down. Timeout, Tony Anise. That's their second to last with 2:54 to go. 2 touchdown lead for GVSU. Just take care of that football. Hold on to it like it's your newborn child, right?
Or grandchild.
That's
in
right.
My case.
That's right.
But no, what a great job by Grand Valley's defense tonight. I'll tell you what, Ferris State came out, threw some wrinkles at him, came back with Carson Golker, came back with Malik Mitchell, and like Coach Wooster said at halftime, they were able to adjust. And one of the things I asked him about the change in quarterback and how that changed them, he goes, you know, all the pressure they put on Malik and all the hits, I think, got to him. They bring in Carson Golker, fresh quarterback. He was able to move and do some things, and now I think you get back to Malik Mitchell, and that pressure and those hits that he's taken, again, I think has affected his play here today. And give kudos to Jim Lewis and his defense. They've actually absolutely played phenomenal today.
Be 2nd and 8 after the timeout. You got Stone Smengi out there at wide receiver now for GVSU. He recovered that onside kick in the first half that kept the momentum going, that first half surge by the Lakers. Peterson in the shotgun. They overload the left side of the line. He's going to keep it right up the middle. He's into the clear. 30, being pursued from behind. He's brought down inside the 15, parting of the Red Sea. Right there for Cade Peterson, untouched until he got into the red zone.
What a call by Matt Vidsum. Does a great job of spreading out the defense. Everybody in the stadium thought that Tariq Reed was going to get the football, and Cade Peterson just pulls it down and does a great job of getting upfield and getting inside the 20-yard line with just over 2 minutes to play here in the game.
Wow. They just followed the flow.
That's it.
Wow, that's incredible. What a play call. What a play design. Well, now the Lakers will just let this play clock burn down. Ferris only has 1 timeout. It's down to 10. 2 minutes left. Same formation as the previous play. Down to 5. Peterson takes the snap, hands it off to Tariq Reed, and he is snowed under. Lost 4 yards. See if Tony Anise will burn that last time out. No indication yet.
I think he's just going to let this one play out. Down 2 scores with the ball in the situation that it's in. I think he's just going to let this one.
Yeah, we're coming up on 90 seconds, Bob, and it looks like the Anchorbone Trophy is staying in Allendale.
Tony Anise right there in his flanked right there by his nephew, Tony Anise, as it helps with the defensive signals, and a fine player at Central Michigan himself.
On the snap, Tariq Reed, right side, chopped down. No gain. There's the last timeout by Tony Anise. It's going to set up a 3rd and long. So the Bulldogs out of timeouts. 69 seconds to go. In what has been a football game with massive ebbs and flows, momentum swings. It was 35-21 at halftime, and each team has only scored it once apiece in the second half.
You know, going back to talking with Coach Wooster at halftime, I loved his composure and some of the things that he said to me. And you and I talked about it before I went down there to interview him. How big is this drive going to be starting out the 3rd quarter? And I couldn't get anything out of him. He's like, listen, there's 11 possessions. This one doesn't matter. And true to self, I mean, both teams had 2 drives before anything even happened there in the 3rd quarter. Like he said, just keep your composure, keep chopping the wood, keep doing what you're doing defensively. And like we talked about earlier, he called this game out when he took the job in his press conference, October 14. He knows what a big game this is, and what a huge opportunity for Coach Wooster and this Grand Valley football team to potentially win this football game in his first matchup in the Anchorbone Classic.
As long as they hold serve here in the last minute, there's going to be a new #1 team in the country. On 3rd and long, Peterson just backpedals, now throws it into the end zone. Jordan Johnson, he's got it in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Lakers!
Wow. Yeah, it looked like Cade Peterson was going to make that fake and just kind of go back and take as much time off the clock and eventually take a knee. And instead, he pulls up and throws the ball into the corner of the end zone. And Johnson does a great job of beating his defender and getting into the end zone for a huge touchdown for the Lakers.
Wow, there's your dagger. Makes it a 3-score game. And pending the extra point, our final score here is looking more and more like it's going to be 49-28. Extra point is up. Good. 64 seconds to go, and had us fooled. Thought you were just going to run a simple run play, burn some clock, but faked out the Ferris defense.
Yeah, I mean, keep playing to that final whistle. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, this competition in this game between these two, we've seen some crazy things happen. So, you know, kudos to Grand Valley continuing to put the pressure on and really making sure that they separate themselves. And again, I go back to when I was playing against Ferris State University, and we're up 21-7, and it's down near the end of the game, and you know the coaches think we're taking a knee. We run a bootleg, and I end up catching a touchdown, go up 28-7. And Coach Beck's famous words: "It's not our job to stop ourselves."
Yep.
So you got to continue to play. So kudos to the offensive staff, Coach Vitzum, and a great call right there for Grand Valley to go up 3 scores with just over a minute to play. Now let's take a look and really hope that everybody's cooler heads prevail here at the end of this football game.
Grand Valley State's going to improve to 5-1 on the season, 2-0 in GLIAC play. Ferris State's going to fall to 4-2, 2-1 in GLIAC play as the Lakers will head up north to the UP next Saturday to Marquette, the Superior Dome, to take on a struggling Northern Michigan Wildcats group. We'll be back for our next broadcast 2 weeks from now to wrap up the month of October against Michigan Tech, the Huskies, at 1 o'clock. Prelapse kick, squib kick. It's going to roll all the way back to the 15-yard line, scooped up there. Jefferson gets spun down around the 20-yard line. That's it. 59 seconds remaining in this football game. Ferris State, after going down 35-0, made it 35-28. But then GVSU has scored the last 2 touchdowns, and I will correct myself, that Michigan Tech game next week at Northern Michigan's 1 o'clock. The Michigan Tech game 2 weeks from now, next home game for the Lakers, is a 3 o'clock here at Lubbers Stadium.
Homecoming.
That is right. So Myleik Mitchell stays in the game at quarterback. Lakers are only going to rush 3. Very late sub checks in. They didn't have enough guys on the field. Bulldogs out of timeouts. Lakers playing a prevent defense. Mitchell takes the snap. It's an option. He keeps it. Has room. Now he tosses it late. And able to maneuver his way is O'Brien for a first down, stays in bounds at the 33-yard line. Clock continues to run, there it goes, momentary stoppage.
Yeah, I think the first down, they're going to stop it real quickly and then get it reset to go.
From their own 33, empty formation. Mitchell takes the snap, just a three-man rush, complete to O'Brien. Stutter stepping, able to curl his way out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain with exactly 30 seconds to go.
The fans reacting to some of the things they're putting up on the big board, but what a great crowd Grand Valley had here today. We've seen it in the past where this Grand Valley crowd gets a little bored, as they made too. Last week's game was quite the blowout, but they still strong here today, and I think that was a little bit part of the game, forcing some offsides with some of the great crowd noise. So kudos to the student section and this great Grand Valley crowd.
Mitchell flush to his right, has plenty of room to run. He's going to tuck it and run into Laker territory, slides down around the 45-yard line. But this is a big game as well, Bob, as we're down to 21 seconds for playoff positioning, possibly getting more than one home game come playoff time.
Absolutely. This does set the table for what happens as far as the playoff seeding and who gets the home field advantage. We won't start talking about regional seedings till a little bit down the road because we still got a lot of football left to play, but you're right, this is going to set the stage for what happens for the playoffs and the home field advantage.
Little bubble screen completed to Jefferson for a first down to the 32. He goes out of bounds, 5 seconds. This will be your last play of the game. That 35-0 advantage that the Lakers raced out to proved to be too much for Ferris State. They made it a game.
Yeah, they did.
Made us sweat it out for sure, but the Lakers had a response. That second touchdown run by Avery Moore was the backbreaker for the Bulldogs here this afternoon. See if this is a Hail Mary into the end zone. Here's the snap, three-man rush. Stepping up is Mitchell, spins out of the would-be sack. Now he'll run it, and he'll just run it out of bounds. That's it. Time expires. Lakers win it. 49-28. They knock off the #1 team in the country. The Anchorbone Trophy stays in Allendale for a second consecutive year. Bob, any final thoughts on this one?
I mean, what a battle. I mean, two teams, you get punched in the mouth like Ferris State did, and to be able to come back and be down 35-0 and make it a one-score game, give kudos to Tony Anise and his coaching staff and what they were able to do. But I think this defensive front and what they were able to do against this talented Ferris State offense is what really turned the tide. This defense was able to put pressure on Mylake Mitchell and Carson Golker all day long with 3-4-man rush and really, really changed the tide of this football game.
Good sportsmanship. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail. And more than likely, you could see these teams again come playoff time. It always happens. We'll take a break and wrap everything up from Lubbers Stadium. Again, number 4 GVSU upends number 1 Ferris State in the 20th edition of the Anchorbone Classic, 49-28. We're back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
I want to zoom in on this line. This is what I'm looking at here.
I have been forecasting in this market for about 30 years, and this is one of the most significant impacts.
This is actually one area that we were tracking that had extremely strong wind.
We will be on the moment we see anything concerning.
Well, we'll get you up to date. If there's any more warnings out there, stay with us.
What a fun afternoon here at Lubbers Stadium in the 55th all-time meeting between Ferris State and Grand Valley State. The 55th all-time meeting goes to the Lakers. 49-28 is your final score. The number 4 team in the country knocks off the number 1 team in the country to retain the coveted Anchor Bone Trophy in the 20th installment of the Anchor Bone Trophy game. That's going to wrap things up. Again, in 2 weeks, our next home broadcast on the Grand Valley Sports Network is coming your way at 3 o'clock for homecoming against the Huskies of Michigan Tech, as the Lakers will be on the road up in Marquette at the Superior Dome to take on the Northern Michigan Wildcats next Saturday at 1 o'clock. Fun atmosphere, fun environment. Loved every minute of it. For Bob Mitchell and the boys in the truck, I'm Brian Ponger saying so long from Lubbers Stadium. The Anchor Bone Trophy remains in Allendale for another year. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Go Lakers and Anchor up.